sprinkle, tinkle, winky. Wink. This is your little fucking goblin speaking. Get ready for the goblin. Fuck. Spencer, this is real. Gorgy, goblin, real goblins, look into my eyeball. Moonstone punk clunk, yup, puppy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the LBLCS. I am your host this evening, Buggleberry Finn. I'm joined by two very handsome, powerful people, Zodiac and Full Metal. Meep, marp.
Meep.
Marp, meep, meep, marp, meep, meep.
Morp.
Marp, meep.
How is it going, guys? How's it going? We have a wonderful game tonight, don't we?
We do. And we got a game that matters potentially a lot for the future of Commercial League. Big implications, as Full Metal has even explained to me with a wonderful graphic that I'll pull up in just a minute before we get into draft here. But yeah, 4th and 6th right now in Commercial League out of 8, so fighting for those playoff spots right now. Sammy, what the hell did you do?
Especially in a league where, there is so much left to be decided, right? I feel like especially in this group, like we've kind of seen, okay, there is kind of this separation right now where, I remember them saying on the booth where you kind of can see that there are these top teams, but again, that could also be just a product of the schedule. So there is a lot of stuff that needs to kind of be worked out, as the game goes along. So this game is incredibly important for both teams.
Yeah, and just looking at that graphic that we have, obviously, Game 1, Lurkers are going to be on that blue side. They're Captain Amoristic in the support lane. But they have the same strengths and the same flaws, essentially, in their gameplay, right? They win hard early, and if they can finish off the game, it will be early, but both teams have struggled as soon as the game goes late.
That is very true. Now, the interesting thing to know is that the Lurkers do tend to win more through character kills and through scaling with like snowbally comps, while LPP actually wins their games fast when they can get 5 or 6 Void Grubs. So LP are actually winning their games faster with objectives, while Lurkers are winning them with just pure murder and pure kills.
This has me excited because it means murder. Murder, kills, death, violence. Those are all 3 things we all can agree on. We all like in here, I think, right, Zodiac? We can all agree that those are things. Also,
yes,
Lil PP has now teched into, and I'm going to show this on screen in a second. They've teched into some name changes. Are you guys in this lobby? Can you see these name changes?
I
Oh, I do notice the name change.
Hey, let's go.
Hold on, I drink, Sammy. All right.
I have an adoring fan in chat. What's up, Maxim, aka Grotine?
Oh, man, are we gonna make you drink all night, guys? I'm drinking like 12-year-old scotch tonight. Can we? Whatever we do, just space it out enough so I feel like I'm sipping it, even though I'm gonna be chugging it.
Apparently. Why are you guys making like Buggle drink?
Yeah, they got 2 other people.
Time I cast it, it takes 2 to tango was like broken because like you guys were still in jail or some shit. So like
they get in jail a lot.
Yeah. So are we gonna? I guess we're just gonna have them pick which streamer has to deal with it. If it all goes to Buggle,
oh my god! Okay, you guys talk about the fucking draft that's happening soon. Because I won't be able to. Here we go.
Might be out of commission by the end of draft. So obviously this patch. This is not the big AP junglers go bye patch. This is the patch before it. So it's going to be very interesting to see. A lot of champions still meta right now that have been meta. So I'm sorry, Bugler, you're actually just getting fucking killed today.
Yeah, there is at least 40 on your head.
They're gonna fucking kill you.
Before the draft starts, I would love to see some Zyra bans because there's a specific person in this draft that when they get Zyra, they love to go off. So it's not only AP in the jungle, but it's gonna be a lot of AP in those bot lanes as well.
I'm not laughing against you. I'm laughing at Bungle just physically struggling.
He's drinking that scotch.
One
Dude,
fucking night. Hang on, I literally have to go refill my cup. So I'll be right back. I'll be right back. You guys got this.
We do have draft starting here, so I'd love to see what the Lurkers decide to ban out in this phase 1 here. It looks like it will be that Seraphine just to stop LPP from getting that double enchanter bot lane.
Interesting that Seraphine is going to be the first ban, especially on blue side, because blue side is really high prio on Seraphine, because you can ban the Senna on B3 and then either force out a Seraphine ban, or blue side is going to get Seraphine, she is one of the most just broken champions right now. I swear to God, this champion goes with basically fucking any comp you want to play, because he just has so much utility in her kit.
It could also be a ban as a takeaway to say, okay, like we have a better B1 pick, and if we don't ban out the Seraphine and we get that stronger B1, then we're gonna give that Seraphine. So they go. It looks like they're going with the Amumu 2, and we get a Shaco and a Volibear. So it looks like LPP are struggling on this jungle takedown and just saying, let's just take out all their jungle picks. Let's take out the Shaco. Let's take out the Volley. I'd would like to see maybe a mid ban here from LPP, but they could potentially go all 3 jungle picks just to try and lock down that jungle.
Because it's a lot of early game junglers, and it is going to be that Zyra being taken away, that flex between support and jungle being gone. And the other thing too about these junglers is these are early game set up kills junglers. And speaking of early game, this will be a crazy throwdown on B1.
Thanks to Zed, B1 says, you know what, we're gonna start this game off with killing. We know that killing is how we win these games. They're starting off with probably the champ with the most kills in solo queue, at least mid lane. I feel like Zed just tends to go off in these games, so I'd love to see what they want to do with that. It's not a champ you normally see in team style, but seeing it here, I'd love to see it pop off. I'm curious what LPP decide to bounce back with.
Alright,
So looks like they're gonna go with the Galio.
That's pretty interesting. You can actually stack a lot of armor items on the Galio mid and take that aftershock. So when Zed kind of jumps on you with his R, you just insta taunt him as soon as he comes out of his R. So that way you get that aftershock proc. But the only problem is that Zed actually has ridiculous range advantage in this matchup, where Zed can just rush first strike and just not allow Galio to kind of play the game because he's constantly at a gold advantage.
Yeah, but they picked a
LPP could be going for more of a shield comp and saying, you know what, you can run Zed, and whoever you Zed'll, we'll just Galio with them as well to try and keep them alive. And it looks like they'll go with the Nami too to kind of go with this like shielding and healing comp.
They're picking champions. This is a tree, fish, tree, ninja, statue. I got this, guys. I'm back.
Welcome back, Bungle. Welcome back to the world we live in.
Let's see if the ninja tree can take down the statue fish. See what else they grab. Hey, lady with jacket. They picked lady with jacket.
They have a lot of elements on their team, so you know they've got a broader range going on here.
True. But
they're going electric. Maybe we'll get a ground type over on LPP.
Oh shit!
You could do Talia. Talia is still semi. Well,
now is Maokai grass type or is he?
Oh, now that's an argument. I would say he's grass because he like spawns different like saplings.
Yeah, I agree.
So
okay,
I would go grass.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Well, like if we're talking about like Pokemon, like
that's a fighter.
Type of Pokemon.
Kai's gotta be fighter type.
Now, I am interested to see what LPP does with these bans here, because right now they see Zed the AD killer, Zeri the AD killer in team fights. Right now LK is just missing some like pure AP damage. So interesting to see if they ban any like water type mid laners here. Or top laners.
See, the other interesting thing though here is I'm not sure you want to get a AP damage source, because right now the only true tank for LPP is Galio, who is known for kind of shutting down AP champions, right? So if you get these high mobility, dance around you AD kind of champs, Galio is kind of just an R bot. You know what I mean? So I actually kind of think Lurkers should just maybe look for just constant, maybe not like super high damage AD, but like just kind of keep your damage sources consistent.
Yeah. Looks like
think
they will ban out the Zaya here. Want to get rid of any ADCs that have like a good escape tool. They don't want the enemy ADC to get away. They want to be able to just go in and lock down a target. I will say this: if Lurkers
Gran
don't ban
Torino's
a
right in
heavy
chat.
armor, like LPP can just go a heavy armor top laner to kind of even it out for the late game.
Yeah, I'm breaking into chat conversation. Galio's definitely rock type. He's just a moving rock. I agree.
I mean, it is true.
Oh, that is true.
That is fighting dark. Yeah.
The other thing to note though is if you go a heavy armor top laner, you will have to kind of pick a hyper scaling AD carry because at that point your AD carry is your sole damage dealer and your entire comp is built around protecting this one champion. And against Zed, I think that's totally doable. But against Zed, Maokai, and whatever Lurkers picks on 4-5, I'm not sure if I want to put all my eggs in the single sole AD carry basket.
Yeah, we'll see if they pick it now or if they want to opt to counter pick it. With all these ADC bans, I'm sure they want to just pick the ADC now. They know they're more than likely going into the Zarya since you already see the Zed that's going to be mid lane. So could be Zarya Maokai maybe, but more than likely the Maokai is going to go jungle here. So we'll see what AD they pick here. Maybe they pick top, but I doubt it going blind when there wasn't too many top bans. Yep, looks like they'll just pick the MF.
Got a lot
That
of
I'm
movement,
a
but no
bit
blinks to get away from anything here.
Yes. Now the interesting thing is with this MF pick, you are gonna have to pick champ. You do have at least one champion who is really good at sitting in front of Misfortune, and that's Galio. So I do like the idea. The only thing I don't love is you don't have amazing lockdown for that MF ulti, although you do have that Vi. But again, it's just Vi. If Zeri positions it well, and oh god, don't do it.
Oh,
Oh no.
that's a Zarya
No.
Yumi for you.
Oh
It's into the
god.
Misfortune Nami, so if they can land a bubble, they essentially get 2 champs for 1.
That's
Hey,
true.
Yumi's fairy, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Alright.
I would argue Yumi would be fair.
What the heck's MF? Normal?
Pirate.
I don't think there's a pirate type Pokemon, but I guess I don't know for
that's
sure.
that's generation 10. That's you haven't
I
played
haven't
those
even
games yet.
gotten there yet. Okay.
You haven't gotten there
I
yet.
haven't gotten there yet. My bad. Is
Oh,
there a
I
gun
do like
type?
that. I from Gran Torino, it could be steel for the bullets.
True.
Okay.
She does shoot bullets.
Cho'Gath is dark type, right?
I think it depends on the skin Cho'Gath reps.
Oh, true.
If it is
Oh,
Nightmare,
we're going skins. This completely changes things, though.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, yeah. What's Gwen then? I feel like that's a fairy fighter. It's like a confusing.
Fairy fighter. Yeah. Oh, but what's the primary? Is it primary fighting or primary fairy?
God, I think
Primary fairy. I mean, bro,
Primary- primary
she has
scissors.
a magical scissors. Like I think that's pretty fairy to me.
All right, now which of these two team comps can take down the elite?
Because of these team ups. I'm telling you right now, as someone who enjoys being able to play the game, I hate the idea that Lurkers have Zeri Yumi in the bot lane, a Cho'Gath in a Zed ultimate. Like, if I'm Misfortune, I'm having a conversation with my team like, guys, if you could figure this out without me, that'd be so great. I don't anticipate living very long in these fights. I think I'm gonna be
Yeah,
fucked up.
I can only imagine. It's just guys, when Zed ults the MF, we just pour everything into keeping MF alive, and hopefully we live long enough to beat the rest of them. It's kind of interesting because realistically, Vi has the target on Zeri, could potentially look for the Zed, but I feel like Zed can make so much distance that Vi will just be like in a fight of her own if she takes the Zed. So it's gonna come down to almost just trying to find each other's ADCs, no?
I think honestly, I think the thing is with this game, and yes, the Zeri Yumi is going to be incredibly annoying, right, and really hard to deal with. But and this is not just because I'm a mid laner, I swear. I think this game is like really incumbent on this mid lane matchup because I think if Zed starts getting ahead, it doesn't really matter how much you throw at MF to try and keep her alive. If Zen just pops her in a fight, then like that's half of your damage gone. But if Galio is able to kind of nullify the Zed, find advantages while roaming around the map and keeping the Zed suppressed in this lane, then you now have this giant brick wall that gets just sit in front of MF.
Yeah, it'll definitely come. I think top lane with what Gwen versus Cho'Gath. I can't imagine Cho'Gath really
Gwen
walks up to try and
Shogun
fight the
is
Gwen.
Like, see me in like 30 minutes, guys. Like we just want to sit here and farm.
Well, I don't know, because I feel like if Gwen can get into into these trades, so I think Cho'Gath is just gonna be like, all right, like you're gonna push me in, I'm gonna farm them. Does paint a good picture for LPP if they need to go for these early grubs like they usually play through. So it's going to be down to Lurkers to try and shut down the early grubs. Maybe their avenue is through the mid lane, try and get this Zed ahead and play through that. Could be their avenue here. So love to see where we go with that.
The important thing to note is if Gwen and Zed are kind of standing in a neutral space and Zed ults Gwen, but Gwen drops her immune shield, like her Gwen's immune ability, Zed will still appear in her immunity. So she actually is not immune to anything in that situation because he is right on top of her.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if she pops it whenever like Zed dashes away to secure the kill, she won't take damage because she is immune. I believe. I don't play that much.
Oh, it's so many
Zed
thoughts to have, and I got 10 more
Yeah,
seconds. Those 10 seconds.
So
suck.
Give me 10 seconds. My econ support told me it's time, so I need to drink.
They're just killing
He
me.
doesn't have the schmeckles. He doesn't have the schmeckles to bet. Or,
Oh, looks like it will be 10 back to Buggle. So
I already did
enjoy
it.
your drinks.
I already did it, man. And let me tell you one thing that I know for sure. I don't have any schmeckles because I lost them all last time I bet, so I can't put any schmeckles down. But I was wondering, you guys are putting schmeckles down. Where are you putting it?
I've already put a good couple hundred. Actually, no, I lied. Only 50. I'll bring it to 100. I put 100 onto LPP simply because of the fact that I think if Gwen gets any sort of lead in the top lane and they're able to get grubs at all, I think even if Zed is going in and killing MF, I think if they leave Gwen on a side lane, there's just nothing stopping her.
oh yeah.
Like who on the team of Lurkers can stop Gwen unless they shove like Zeri, Yumi, and Maokai there?
The goal for LPP is to 4-1 this game and just let Gwen win the game through a side lane.
100%.
I
think in a team fight, it's very hard for LPP to function knowing this Maokai is going to come after you, knowing this Yumi's going to lock you down, and then you're just getting your front line absolutely destroyed by Zeri and your back line assassinated by Zed.
Oh, hang on, wait. We got some important chats I missed. Okay, Ding
All
Bop
right,
Bop. He's saying he really needs these LPP boys to win. Chasey BB also saying he needs it. No one is saying that they need Lurkers to win.
Yeah, what the hell, guys?
So I guess Lurkers, theoretically, you're off the hook this game if you lose. No one in chat has asked you to win. So
Also, because he keeps mentioning it, I have a fun Pickle hater story for everyone in chat.
yeah,
The casters.
go ahead.
So Pickle was doing a fantasy football draft. Right? You know, we all love him.
You could just scroll
right?
up in
Sure,
community
sure.
to see this one. You don't even have to
Yeah,
tell
you
the
could
story.
also scroll up in community, but I figured I would let it known, so it's now immortalized on Twitch.television. Right? So he was doing a fantasy football draft, and he was asking in the high alert server, right? Hey guys, who do I pick? Because he doesn't know much about football. So I just say as a joke, completely trolling here. I go, you should pick Daniel Jones. So with his second overall selection in his fantasy football draft, he picks Daniel Jones.
Can I be honest with you right now? I don't
what's
even know who that is.
I don't either, but
I
I'm
don't
rooting for Daniel Jones this year.
Okay, so let me put it this way, right?
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. So Daniel Jones, he's a quarterback in the on the New York Football Giants, right?
Okay.
And he
The way you phrased the Giants, by the way, was bizarre to me. The New York Football Giants. Continue.
Football Giant.
Yeah, there's other Giants out there. You just don't know them.
So some would call Daniel Jones the white Michael Vick, right?
Okay. Is he running with the ball a lot?
He does run with the ball.
Okay. Has he
The
done
only
dog
problem
fighting?
is he can't throw the football. And no, to my knowledge, he has not.
All right. Those are the only things I knew about Michael Vick is that he ran the ball a lot. And then
But see,
You
the
know more than
problem
I do.
is that Daniel Jones can't throw the football, and if he throws the football, he will oftentimes throw it to the opposing team. So
Oh,
What
that's
if
easy.
they have one of their wide receivers wear the
Yeah,
opposite
wear the other
team's
jersey. That's
and
what I was
go out
gonna
on
say.
the field?
No
Do
one's
they
thought
just
about
win?
this.
so here's my thought though. Like here's a quick like true like football theory crafting here. What
Yeah.
if like you built an offense to where like the quarterback hikes the ball and the entire team just like forms a protective circle around that quarterback and they just run forward?
I mean, isn't that just like a running back play, but just altered for the
Just
QB?
slightly changed.
Yeah, no, but
I
like
think
the
you're
running back
saving the
play.
team money. You don't have to buy a running back. You just have a
Well,
QB that does
like
it.
here's the thing too, like you when you do a running play, you have these useless things called like wide receivers, where they're all like out and
I
about.
think
and,
it's gonna be telegraphed if all the rest of your players come on and they're all like 250, like 6'3". Everyone's like, hold up, I think
Yeah,
they're gonna
but,
run
like-
that one play they run.
Yeah, but like then you hit him with like the play action bomb to like your 300-pound tight end, and he scores like an 80-yard touchdown. Like think about it.
Okay.
Mind games,
I like
y'all.
the thought. It's innovative. Both of these teams have also picked innovative strategies. I like the point and click out of roast pork buns and tiny inter. I'm 25 seconds in right now, so you guys know.
You're
Oh, I'm-
25 seconds, and I'm 43.
I was also 45. Let me know when you're 40.
I'll let you know when I'm 40.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
38, 39, and now we're at 40.
Okay, there we go. About to say I could see the future here.
Yeah.
When does Money Moves play? Shut up.
It looks like it's gonna be a normal 5-point. Nothing crazy happening early game. Just checking the jungle, checking the wards.
Yep.
Don't
there
think
is
I'm just gonna go for anything crazy here.
There is no Yumi, so if Vi wanted, she could walk in and get a
Minions
cheeky
have
board on
spawned.
Raptors, but chooses not to. Yo, style cam. I think we should like watch the game like that.
I said I've
if you-
tried. It's sickening.
Yeah, but like, what if you put the camera like in the bot alcove and just have it like straight down the river, and we just try and figure out what's happening from there?
Ooh, okay. So I like the idea of setting up cameras at each tower, maybe, and then I could push different buttons to like go to those cameras. That'd be fun as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. See, I just have it fully zoomed out, so I see everything, and then I
It's like-
just zoom into a fight.
It's like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Like I just zoom into top lane to see if this Gwen is gonna like destroy the Shogath level 1, potentially.
I really like the names Tiny Inter and Tiny. I like those two names. I like that they're coordinated and they know who's gonna die more.
Well, maybe
Also-
maybe Tiny Inter is saying that Tiny is the Inter.
Also, so like I know we've talked about like the Gwen advantage of Cho'Gath and blah 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 winning matchup, but see Cho'Gath is Gentleman Cho'Gath, so like
Yeah.
he's got like 100% damage bonus.
Oh, we totally forgot. Wait, well Galio is fire, so Galio is using a Firestone here to change his types.
Yeah, he's fire rock
Ooh.
type. There he's still going
I don't
with
think there's
lady
I
with
don't think
coat
there's a
type.
god type. Is there a god type for Gun Goddess MF?
I don't think so.
Maybe MF is just now a legendary.
Yeah, that's what it is. Also,
Nothing fancy here. Looks like both jungles are going to be going from bot to top here, so seems normal for LPP. They like to play more for grubs anyway, so potentially going for the first grub. We might see a fight for the Scuttle Crab up there. It looks like Sniper Boy on the Gwen does have the push and might even go for a cheeky jungle ward here.
He's moving into that blue side as watching the mid laners poke each other and looking for a little bit of damage. Does find a taunt.
Ignite is on Zed. He does have Ignite PG here, so
Yeah, that is a lot of damage onto the mid lane, so it might be a little tough for the Rayman to look, but it looks like Sauce is going to look for the Zed here.
He has no flash and he just used W, so he will not have any way to get out, but he goes into the first blood! Roast Pork Buns gonna pick up number 1 for the kills. Might be able to get away from Bai as well as Tiny is approaching. Does have that flash W, is going to use it. A lot of CC onto Sauce. Nice flash Q. Is gonna keep him safe, but needs to keep that distance from Zed, who might be looking for a second.
Yeah, huge first kill and beautiful play going under the tower for the kill, knowing they can get away, knowing they have Tiny there. Looks like Gwen wanted to look down to try and get there, but was just too far, too late.
The Nugs getting hit up a little bit. Tension. Tension's kind of a loose cannon. You gotta be really careful when you get a Yumi Zeri. That is a very high octane combo.
he's not a loose cannon. He's the Spark of Zon.
Sorry. Let me try that again.
Yeah.
There is the spark of Zon. It's crazy when you get that
We
bot lane
haven't
combo.
ghosted Gwen on top lane.
Does use Ghost.
Gwen
Tiny
looking for the
Inter.
kill here.
Really nice right there. Might get one more off, but the level up actually gives him a lot of life. Can stay alive for a little bit longer and was able to walk out safely. So no one goes down in the top lane, but Ghost used by that Gwen.
Yeah, interesting also to note, especially in that mid lane, because I just kind of noticed it. Zed does have Conqueror, so he's playing for these super extended fights. It's gonna be interesting to see how he builds it. I unironically would love to see like an Eclipse Black Cleaver build, because like you're gonna have the damage to kill the MF like regardless, but you need to be able to kind of chew through this front line, especially as the game goes on. Once you get to these side lanes, so being able to kind of opt for more of this tankier CD focused build, I think would be really good for the Zed.
Yeah, also a good thing to know is that the Zed is running Ignite Teleport, so Zed will just TP back mid here and won't really lose much for the early fight, and using the Ignite, we'll have Ignite back up before the Grub spawn, I believe. So Zed can easily just get 6 here, push this out, use the gold lead, push out mid, and potentially look for first Grub spawn for the side of Lurkers.
And we discussed this earlier. Both these teams are super early mid kind of teams. So the fact that it's 1-0 right now, a little unprecedented. Maybe they're both respecting that, just trying to get these small CS leads. Right now it is just that first blood gold that is giving Lurkers the lead here, but Sniper Boy might be going a little crazy.
Looks like Lurkers will decide to stay on the bot side. They know they have the pressure from mid. They know the bot lane had to back. So it looks like they're going to try and find the Vi, but Vi's top side. So Vi might just get the grubs, which LPP want anyway. Lurkers probably just going to seed the space, send Zed back mid, maybe go for Dragon once Zeri and Yumi push out bot. Otherwise, looks like LPP is able to bounce back here and get grubs for free.
Yeah, and grubs on Gwen are super important because she's already shredding this turret early on. Ooh, takes another church up. No feast up for Tiny Inter, so won't be able to get that nom 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 ability off.
Yeah, looks like the teams will just trade objectives here. LPP do well with the early grubs, so LPP probably feeling fine here. They know they're a bit behind, at least for the kill mid and probably the dragon here. But they know that they love playing these grubs, so it works in their favor for the Gwen. Looks like Lurkers are just going to take that, probably take the crab here. They have the Zed covering the Maokai, but they see the grubs taken, so they're not going to find Vi anytime soon down here.
Yeah, Zed just kind of without a place to go, so we'll just kind of cover the Maokai, maybe look to see if the bot lane overextends. But right now, again, the gold difference right now is just kind of that first blood minus, because again, because of this top lane, Gwen ult is going to be used here.
Yeah, it's an invade right now. Sniper Boy doing so much damage. Great flash Q from the Cho'Gath is going to keep him alive. But Sniper Boy knows that he's in a position now where he can just go super aggro on Tiny Inter. And I think this lane's going to get scarier and scarier for the Cho'Gath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even though Cho'Gath does have TP here, I mean, you're TPing, but you're not going to touch that wave. Gwen is just going to zone you off this. So Cho'Gath's just like, you know what, I'm just going to walk here. It's not really worth me to TP. I'm not really going to lose much anyway. The wave will slowly push into Cho'Gath, maybe losing a minion or two, but not much after. Looks like Gwen will opt for the back anyway. Go spend the gold they just got making that push. So Gwen's going to be back a lot stronger on this return to top lane. Also, to answer your question for QK, looks like Zodiac already beat me to it. It is about plat. Some of these are low emeralds. The maximum before the season started was Emerald 3. Now that the season started, they can climb up to Emerald 1, but most of the players are going to be around that flat, maybe low emerald.
Yeah, you're seeing this is essentially a gold to emerald league for the most part, with the average being in that plat. But also, I would like to say, these guys in this game. I'm a little. Listen, we looked at it. We looked at the stats earlier. I'm a little scared for both teams. Nobody's got a real lead, and they only win games when they get big leads early. So is no team gonna win this game?
I don't know. Could it just become like an hour and a half game where they just ace each other back and
What
forth?
happens if like these teams go late? There's like a black hole form on the rift,
Yeah.
and like
The
we
game
just,
shuts
restart
down. They
time
say
loop?
retry.
Yeah. Looks like Tension will look for this MF. They force the Nami to go in the jungle. They will
Big
use
ultimate
the
right now
Yumi
from
ult as well.
Yumi. Onto them, gonna flash away from the MF. Xana Granny now in the fight, gonna drop that ultimate on the Tension, finding a little bit of Zed, but here comes Zed. He's down, and he's gonna find one kill. He might be looking for another, but the teleport is going to dissuade him. And it's gonna be a 1-for-0 and a nice roam from Zed.
Yeah,
I wasn't able to catch where the Galio was. I would have loved to see Galio ult maybe, but I guess Galio was just too far, too old, so went for the TP instead.
Yeah, not in range, but meanwhile, Tiny Inter
Yeah,
is gonna
crossplay up
get
here.
a
Sniper
business
doing
here.
a lot. Good ultimates being dropped right there, and it's gonna be Gwen picking up her first kill of the game.
Oh, looks like they're gonna go for a tower dive here, bot potentially. They have the Zed, they have the Maokai. Maokai's gonna ult. Looks like they're gonna look for a dive.
I'm so sorry
Zed
that.
still has R here too. He still has Death Mark here.
I'm so sorry. Oh wait, Tiny might actually go down. That's the flash away. Can you pick it up, Sandy Granny? Yes, you can. It's a 1-for-1.
Not only did they get the kills well, but they also forced the heal out of the Yumi as well. Zeri ended up tanking a bit after Zed went in, but not until Zeri had already hit. So although they trade, I mean they get their money into the Gwen, which is what they want on their split pusher. But they get the trade back, so it's not too bad on the side for LPP. The only thing to know is that Zed does now have Eclipse, so that Zed is going to get even more powerful.
3 kills. He has right now the most gold in the game. It's not really close. Gwen's basically coming up in second, but still down by about 500. I mean, he's going to start to run away with it, and it's going to be easier and easier to run. He's going to do those super clear waves and make runs either down bottom or try to look for that Vi in the jungle.
Yeah. Do you know we have Boiz coming back up soon? And we've rotated our Nami up
Another
here.
fight up here in the top lane, and Tiny Inter, although dying, he is living up to his name right now.
Yeah, this is working great for LPP too, because now they get potentially the fight for the Voids. They have the majority up here. Cho'Gath does not have TP, so Cho'Gath won't be able to join this fight. I think they can just take this. They have to worry about the Zed, but I think Zed is just not enough damage to take them down, and they will get this 6 Voids.
A good choice to just drop that ult. Yeah, I agree with that completely. Just get the pressure off of down bottom. Make sure you get the things you like. We looked at what they like to do early, and it is get all 6 grubs if you can, and just split, 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 push, push, push with big pushers. And they have people like Gwen, they have people like Vi who can knock down towers.
Yeah, and even though, again, this Zed is kind of feels like he's snowballing, can run over this game, Gwen's basically dead even with him in gold. In fact, Gwen's actually up 200 gold. So that's exactly where you want this gold, because again, Zed cannot kill this Gwen if Gwen is equally as fed, because Gwen will just stack her 4 Qs and just one-shot. In fact, she's going to take this turret and choke at face.
Yeah, and she's going to go after it right now. Good silence
kill.
on her is not going to matter too much as she's going all the way in onto Tiny Inter, dropping all the ults, but she does get a Q onto him, and Cho'Gath's able to walk away with her life.
Yeah, Zed wants to walk up, but it's so tough because right now, LPP are running around with these grubs, and if they don't move Zed down for this dragon fight, they're not going to get dragons either. Zed uses the ult to try and get Galio behind, but
so
Galio's too tanky for this.
The fact that you blow Death Mark right before this dragon is massive, because I don't think you're going to have it by that time this dragon is up. In fact, it's actually alive right now.
And Galio's able to get that back off. So now he has ultimate to get into this fight. Yes, he had to burn the flash to stay alive right there, but he can still show up to this dragon fight. And then you can be looking at a 3 to 4 in terms of neutral objectives you're taking. He is getting some plates right now, though.
I feel like on LPP side, they don't even need to look for this Drake. They're like, listen, like even if they get the Drakes, we have a split putting Gwen on 6 grubs. That's 2-0-0. We don't even need drags. All we need to do is make sure that they can't get them. So all they're doing is just controlling vision, taking out the control wards, getting their own wards down, and they're not even going to go for it because they're just like, listen, as long as we avoid them from getting them, we're in an okay spot.
Yeah,
Galio just looking might start here. Looks like they will, so maybe they are going to call it. They know Zed is pushing mid lane, so Zed can come down. Will have ult towards the end of this fight, maybe, if they can't burn it fast enough, but it looks like they're keeping MF down, so they won't really have that damage in, and they're going to have, you know, their bot lane and their mid lane push into them. It's going to be really hard for them to fight this.
Yeah, and Gwen's also just sitting up here constantly.
Ultimate's getting dropped here. Galio going all the way into the fight, and teleport's being used as well. The exhaust onto the MF, and they're going to try to take it down. Actually doing a lot, but a huge ultimate's getting dropped down onto the Yubi. It's not going to be enough. ADC, straight to the ADC. Up in the top lane, Gwen also going after Tiny Inter, trying to finish him up. One more Q will do it, and they do. Tension and Tiny still alive. Emeristic still on them. It's a 3v3 right here. Can they finish it off? But a smite from Maokai means it's actually going the way of Lurkers. Tension trying to flash away. How far can you skate? all the way back to Zed, and you're safe, baby. Actually, maybe looking for a kill
think
right
they
now.
get out.
Can they turn it? Danny Granny maybe took too much. She's going down, sleeping on the pills.
Yeah, but look at top lane. I mean, they're already losing tier 2. Gwen's getting so much value on the other end of the map. Yes, the TP was canceled by Cho'Gath, it seemed, but it didn't matter because Gwen just gets so much in the top lane. They've already lost tier 1 and tier 2 top lane. Potentially more if Gwen continues going top side, but it looks like Gwen will now go bot lane and just split this entire map in half.
Knight being dropped, the ultimate being dropped. One more auto should be able to do it. Can't get the E.
So
Can't
close.
find the kill.
Galio here just with the plated steel caps, with now the Shane vest gonna look like a Sunfire maybe.
Yes.
It's just so hard for Zed to punch through this Galio. I think Zed just needs to try and only find like the Nami, the MF here, because the more the Zed uses the ult and all this resources on the Galio, it's just not gonna let Zed snowball.
Yeah, but the other problem is right now is Zed kind of has to be the one to match this Gwen because he's the only one who can deal with her split push, but because again, like Tiny Inter just lost like a third of his HP from one fully stacked Q. Sniper Boy is just going crazy in this matchup right now.
Yeah, Tiny Inter has the hard seal, but you can't really get hard seal stacks on the Gwen because any time that you would get that auto in, bye-bye to your health bar. Looks like he will stay, trying to bait out the Gwen. Ben does get baited in, uses the ult. When will Zed go in?
Uh-oh, big play right here. Here comes Zed all the way in. Look at the damage he's able to do to that Gwen, and the shutdown kill goes to Tiny Inter in the end. Good play right there from Lurkers. Ultimate being dropped right now by a lot of people there. But Danny Granny, can they catch more right there? There's the ultimate. MF trying to turn it with some damage, and Vi is over the wall. Now trying to join the fight. It's not going to matter, and it might be Herald going the way of Lurkers.
Yeah, with Galio TPing bot lane, they just lose all of their pressure for this Rift. Vi continues to want to finish the Rift, but they just can't without the Galio ult there.
Yeah, tension with the huge W through that wall there, just unironically securing both those kills. Because without that slow, I think Nami just kind of walks out of that play here. TP's going to be used from this Cho'Gath to secure the mid lane. And again, I feel like that shutdown, if you're Cho'Gath, that feels good. Like, hey, I'm feeling back at the game. My confidence is back up. But unironically, I think in that instance, you just want to give the Zed that shutdown. Because you're going to need this Zed to be able to silent against this Gwen. And a 600 gold shutdown going into his pocket is massive.
Yeah, they send the Gwen back bot here. I mean, you do have time before the next objective, so it probably doesn't matter too much where the Gwen goes. I don't know if the Zed really kills Gwen right now by themselves. With the Cho or with someone else, definitely. But on a pure 1v1, it's interesting to say who really wins that fight. Because like we were saying before, like if she does if she makes it so he has to stay in that circle, he's going to be taking a lot of damage. And then if the Zed leaves that circle, Gwen's not taking damage. So it's going to be a tough 1v1 to really say who wins. Maybe Zed can pop the Gwen before she's able to pour that damage in. Otherwise, I can't imagine that Zed really just stays in this lane against the Gwen up front. Maybe he just catches the wave, and then leaves her be. So it's going to be interesting. For Lurkers, though, they do get the Rift. They're going to pop it mid, try and crack down this map and open the map more. The more map they have, the better it's going to be for their Maokai, for the Zed to look at these weird angles.
Yeah, there's no flash left on Zed, but he's going to drop that ultimate right now on the Sniper Boy. But look at the ultimate exchange right back. It doesn't matter. Back in the mid lane, big play from Tiny as he is going all the way in. Good ultimate, though, from the Nami as the two tanks are... This is what we call a noodle fight. Back down here, there's a big fight, though. They're able to take the tower. They're going to take more as Nugs looks like he is going down. Zandy Granny trying to do what they can from afar, but it's just not enough. Now Tension going to chase after Zandy Granny, but Sniper Boy understands the task. He says it doesn't matter what's happening on the map. You keep pushing.
Yeah, they're wasting so much time looking for this Nami that Sniper is just taking all of bot lane with the push. They trade the tier 2 mid for the tier 2 bot. But now you have two lanes on opposite sides of the map where all it is just a turret and an inhib left for you. So if they can get one good split with this Gwen, they're gonna look at an open Nexus. They're gonna look at the inhib's gone. It's gonna be Nexus turrets that are gonna down 4 autos from this Gwen in the late game. This Gwen now has Riftmaker, so she's ready to live these long fights. And it looks like that's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna send the Gwen top, even though the dragon is coming up.
Yeah, and the biggest thing though too for the side of the Lurkers here is now your side lanes are super far extended. So this Gwen now has been, but the Gwen Ghost is going to be used here.
Yeah, and the ultimate from Zed right back, now trying to create some distance, but he actually gets hit on all 3 fronts of those ultimates. He's able to dash back to the other side of Gwen and escape.
Yeah, nice patience there on the Shadow. While in the mid lane, Sniper Boy and Roast Pork Buns both have TP. Sniper Boy is going to use that TP first, so we'll be at this fight. Zed does need a heal. Bubble is going to be used. Remember, no Gwen Ghost, no Gwen ultimate, but it
So
looks
looking
like
for this
Dragon
fight
is
right
just
now.
okay.
Galio and MF doing a big combination, trying to find 2 kills right there. They might be able to pick up 1, and that's going to be the Dragon as well, going into their books, as well as the 2 big tanks on the side of Lurkers. So LPP going big in that fight.
Yeah, and this leaves Gwen straight to go bot lane. So Gwen gets a push off top, is able to chunk out Zed enough to TP to that fight, and now gets a free push bot lane. If they don't answer this Gwen, they essentially leave all of top side empty. So now LPP can push mid lane and potentially look to just vision control off Baron.
Yeah, interesting to note that Gwen opting for that reset, telling the D-Ring what, do they have enough for art? I think they might just be waiting gold for that new large rod. Actually, we'll opt to just sit on the 900 gold with no TP. Turret is going to go down here. Right now, just this control. It's not a high kill game. We're at 16 kills at 20 minutes, right? That for 2 early game teams, that's not a whole lot, but it feels like the control of this game is in the hands of LPP boys.
These
Yeah,
2 teams
I mean, you're
are
one dragon
on the same
ahead
spot
of-
in the table, right? They're like 4 and 6 in the standings, and it's showing in the game, like we were talking about earlier, Full Metal. These teams are really, really close in terms of skill.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, they both love playing the early game. I mean, you have a Zed here who has a lot of these kills early. You have this Zeri who's just been farming non-stop and getting all these items in. So the only issue for Lurkers is that you have to deal with this Gwen. Like, you have Baron up, but you don't have TPs except for Cho'Gath to go deal with her. Right, and if you don't have Cho'Gath for this Baron, you're not going to be able to get a steal,
He
but
might
maybe
get teed
Cho'Gath
off
uses
right
all
here.
for
He might be able to grab the ultimate, and he
Galio.
does. Picks up a free little snack onto Galio right there, and that's big for just the mentality of Cho'Gath too after having to play against this Gwen all day.
Yeah, this will force Galio to back, and maybe now they send they send the Cho'Gath bot lane, but now Gwen's leaving bot lane anyway, knowing that the Cho'Gath is backing, and Gwen might actually look for a flank here on this area. They seem to get caught though, so we'll probably just walk back bot lane, or maybe try and get this area to go away from it.
Yeah, we're in the dancing phase right now of the game, and all being dropped
listen to those, look
onto
at mid.
MF. They are going to find the CC. They are going to find the ADC in the mid lane. And Gwen obviously not going to react to anything. Just going to continue to fight people down here and split.
Yeah, uses the ult, trying to get the Cho'Gath, but
Oh.
just unable to do the final bit of damage, but it is enough to put Cho'Gath away. It's going to be interesting, because you've got Lurkers going for your inhib in the mid, but it looks like LPP is pulling them off well enough to where Gwen can now just shove this bot lane and potentially force it back from one of them.
I think they are going to force it back. And if you're on the side of Lurkers, you're going to have a real conversation in the middle of this game. How do we deal with this Gwen split? Because we can't just send Cho'Gath. We need to send Zed and someone who can CC them. We need to send Zed and Maokai, or Zed and Cho'Gath.
Oh, maybe they find it.
Might be able to find the backside.
So close. If that blast was used anymore towards the lane, could have potentially seen Gwen go down, which would have been huge for them. But it looks like instead, LPP will try and push out this Baron. And Lurkers, I mean, you're being split, but you're doing a really good job at finding picks. They found the pick on the Galio, they found the pick on the MF. So they're getting gold into the Zeri and into the Cho'Gath. So you're kind of evening it out to where now, Lurkers, if they're able to find a pick like that, they can force an objective, they can force the Baron, and potentially get it fast enough to get back before the Gwen takes your base.
Yeah, we're in the... Are you, by the way, Zodiac, I am reading chat. Are you on another Twisty? Because
I've been drinking twisties. I just chose this.
I got front-loaded by chat to start this game, and I haven't gotten one since. I'm actually in like a great buzz right now, but Tiny Inter is not in a great buzz. He is getting his head buzzed right off as Sniper Boy's going all the way in on him, just chomping away with those scissors. No more hair on the Cho'Gath.
And they might be looking top lane too on Zed here. I mean, Galio's right on top of him, and they have Vi, and they have Nami and MF looking. They might be able to get 2 picks here.
The ultimate getting dropped right now. They're looking for some CC. That ultimate is going to connect. He might zap back to one of his shadows, and he does. Trying to stay alive for a little bit longer.
Still no flash though.
Oh, he
Right into the bot lane.
right into him. Tiny trying to help, gonna have to drop that ultimate and his flash and walk
Oh, that
away.
will be great
Teleport
TP.
coming in.
They might be
Gwen's
able to
gonna join this
find
fight right now. Gwen's gonna look for more, but a nice knockback from Tiny keeps him
beautiful
alive.
Q.
Tension
That's
was in
gotta
the
be
wings.
Baron.
But I think you're right. I think this is gonna be Baron.
The only person you have is Cho'Gath on TP. Maybe you look for a steal, but it's so tough. You know, you don't have Maokai ult anymore to really force that engage. Looks like they will opt to TP. Maybe they're going to go for a steal. They're getting good damage on their
Huge
Nami.
damage, Jerry going all the way in, and so is everybody else.
so winning.
There's gonna pick up one. Cho'Gath's gonna pick up another in the back line. Sniper Boy trying to do what he can around this fight, and all that from MF is not gonna be enough. She goes golden, but it doesn't matter. Lurkers were lurking for long enough, and I think they're gonna find one unless Sniper Boy has anything to say about it. There's one, there's two. Sniper Boy can totally turn this fight around. Tension trying to change that, and here comes Zed out from the base. The teleport is in, and they get the ace.
A
Huge
huge
play.
from fucking Jinx, you owe me a soda. A huge play from Tension there, and just honestly all of the Lurkers there, because I think it was a great recognition to be like, hey, these guys are tanking a ton of damage on this Baron here. We have full health Zeri with R, with Flash. We have Yuumi with her R as well. It's just a fight that we can win even if we're down a member.
Yeah, they can't get the Baron because too many of their members died, but they do get the Dragon here, which helps them, because now if they're able to get these Infernal Souls, they can definitely win these fights a lot faster and force the play onto LPP. It's getting increasingly harder for the Gwen to really split, because Gwen has to come for these fights, otherwise they cede so much, but it's not really working out in the favor of LPP. It'll be interesting to see if they say, you know what? Screw the fights. If we give Baron, if we give Dragon, it does not matter. We just need to let this Gwen split push. Let the Gwen do her thing. She nearly pulled off the 1v3 in the Baron, which was huge with that insane healing on the Q there. But in reality, it's just so tough for Gwen to really carry through this game with so many tools on the side of Lurkers to save their members. So right now, you know, with Baron still up, Dragon now on cooldown for a long time, they're just going to send this Gwen bot lane and say, you know what, you guys have to send 2+ down there to deal with Gwen, otherwise she just ends the game.
Right, and I think the other thing is too, and this is kind of something I talk about a lot with my teams, where it's like, this is the problem with taking a lot of turrets too fast, right? Because right now the Gwen has, like, in these situations, like, if there's not a neutral objective up, right, which in this instance there is Baron, right? But if Gwen is, like, if you have a split pusher and you're all the way at someone's inhibitor turret, you're so far pushed up where if there is no neutral objective, you're a sitting duck for the opposing team. But now, since there is the Baron, there's always that constant threat, and this looks like they're not setting anyone up. They said, Cho'Gath, you're on your own here, bud.
Yeah, but this Cho'Gath can hold, and they're going to lose their Nexus turrets if they don't send back. They're paying to go to Baron, and they're starting Baron, but I don't think they have a Nexus at the time of Baron
This
kills.
is dangerous. Sniper Boy looking for the angle. He wants to be able to take down Tiny Incher. Tiny Incher does have the ability to just back
Seriously
up
calling now.
during the wave and heal, but this is a lot of damage on him, and one more Q should be able to do it. That's a picked up kill. If they can stop these backs, they can't. Yuumi and Zeri able to get back in time and now come try to deal with this Gwen, but that does not mean they're going to be able to stop her.
Yeah, I mean, they let the backs go through. Looks like they just couldn't reach them in time. Maybe something happening in mid, but looks like he just gets out. Does force goal.
Nice Galliard to get out.
Gwen's here. Gwen said, hey, you used your ult. I'm right here. But Zeri's trying to keep him off as well. All five reunite.
You have the Maokai on the flank here. Could potentially look to turn, but looks like Tiny decides not to. Says, you know what? No, like we're a little low. We just use our Yuumi ult. We just use our Zed ult. Let's just not force a play here. But I mean, look, that's half of one Nexus turret down. One more to go and no inhib, so that bot lane is just going to be constantly pushing into you. You have Drag coming up not too long from now. Maybe they send the Gwen top lane to cause 2 inhib. But there's an angle where they just send Gwen bot here and just pressure them to see if they can all back in time to end.
And this is kind of why I referenced that Black Cleaver Eclipse build for the Zed, because again, the Edge of Night is nice, it's fine, it's a nice defensive item, but how the hell is he going to kill Gwen at this point, right? He just doesn't have the CDR or the health or just the durability, the bulk to try and like sit in this lane with Gwen, because Gwen at this point could just kind of like stroll up to Zed and be like, oh cool, you're at 3 items, you're 5 and 2, don't care, I'm at 4 items right now.
Tiny is here though. I'm curious to see if LPP goes for Baron the second they see the Maokai show up here. So
they're
it's
just going it now.
Yeah, they're just forcing it. They know Zed's down here. Yeah, they're just forcing Baron. There's no way Maokai gets up in time. Zed maybe gets there with a TP, but it's so hard for them to get in without the Maokai ult. They just burn this.
Yeah, they are just gonna be able to take this right now. Cho'Gath cannot get
That is
there in
TPing.
time.
They might look for a fight afterwards.
Looks like they're just gonna back. Maybe they try and keep them there, but it looks like all the backs are gonna go off. They're maybe find MF. Nope, doesn't look like they can in time. That does look though. And I mean, this is a free Baron because they send the Maokai bot to try and help the Zed with the Gwen, but the second LPP makes the insane call to just we just burn Baron. Even if the Maokai is here, we get it anyway. Maokai ended up being bot, so it works insanely in their favor. And now, how do you stop this Gwen?
I mean, it's impossible. You're at 4 items like Gwen. You have Dragon up. You have right now, I think, a double super wave about to crash in this bot lane here. Someone has to go scoop that up, and I mean, right now,
pick right now because they are on Soul Point. This is their avenue back into the game. If they're able to grab this Infernal Soul, it will give them a little bit of leverage in these fights, especially trying to put any damage down from distance. It'll matter that much more, but it's going to be impossible to do it with just the scenario they're in.
Yeah, LPP just has to play really safe. They have this guy off far, thankfully dashes away. They just have to play safe and keep vision, right? Because if they want the Gwen to split, they need to make sure that Lurkers can't just rotate over. They have the Gwen bot, which yes, it's nice with the super minions, but it means she's super vulnerable because now Lurkers are just going to go in for a fight on Gwen.
They're trying to find it right now, and Roast Pork Bun's going in right now, but here comes the Galio in response. They're going to try to fight this 2v4, 2v5, and they already got one kill. They're going to look for more. A lot of CC out of them right now. Look at them get absolutely chunked. Going golden on that right there. They're able to pick up both of them.
Mid lane, they might end the game.
They might be able to end the game right now. They're pushing all the way in, and they've got their
They're forcing. They have this MF. They have the MF damage.
Back. It's going to go crazy right now. His Tension's trying to get here in time, trying to stop them. Tiny Inter is here.
No,
Danny Granny could get caught up at the flash. It's not going to matter. Tension's going to pick up that kill, and they hold on to the game.
Yeah, and I mean, with the Baron gone, I mean, they can look for Dragsoul here, but it's so tough, right? Because if they have any wave in their base and Gwen respawns, Gwen can just start looking. You have Galio with TP as well, so they have to try and do this dragon fast before Gwen and Galio come back up.
This is their avenue, right? We talked about their way to get back to the game. We talked about what they could be doing wrong if you're on the side of LPP. It's Gwen hyperextended. It's the inability to fight back if they rotate all 5. They thought they could get the in route and win just with the Baron and with the 3 people in the mid lane. They couldn't. Now they've got Soul on the side of Lurkers, and now we've got a really intense game because it might actually be the next fight that ends the entire thing.
Yeah, and despite having Soul and having 4 dragons, you're still down in gold purely from this Gwen just taking all the side lanes. So it seems like, Lurkers have so much money and so much power with this dragon, especially it being the Infernal Soul, but the gold is basically even.
Yeah, and one unsung hero right now on the Lurkers, the person who can absolutely take over this game and potentially win it is Tension on this Zeri. 6-0 on 4 items right now. I mean, this Zeri is so ridiculously fed at this point.
Yeah, maybe Zeri can match the Gwen at this point, having such a lead. So it looks like that's what they'll opt to do. They'll be like, you know what, we just send Zeri there, because Zeri's probably our best bet catching the Gwen. But the issue becomes is that if Zeri is catching Gwen, that's your major gold lead. So I'm curious if LPP try and just push all together on the opposite side of the map. There's not really any objectives up, so if they just do 4-1, where Gwen's on one side and the rest of LPP is in bot lane, you kind of split up the map where, like, where does Zeri go? Does Zeri use all of her power to take down the 4 or to take down the 1? Because with the Zeri also comes the Yuumi, right. So it basically becomes a 1v2, 1v3 maybe, and then a 4v1.
Yeah, that looks like exactly what they're going to do. Right now, just send 4 bot lane, have that Zeri up there, recognize, hey, there's one last, well, there is an open inhibitor that we need to grab. We do need to get it. I misspoke. I thought the Gwen had already taken every turret. That's how much she's been dominating these split push side lanes this game.
Yeah, LPP is pulling the Lurkers back bot, but the Zeri's, saying, I can't let this Gwen push. I have to keep catching this Gwen. And it lets LPP just keep pressuring down this bot lane. Maybe Tiny and Tiny Inter can find an angle here. Maybe
they're going to look for
force
in right now, and they're going to find the Nami first, looking for the rest of them onto the backside. Tiny Inter just keeping Sauce off of this fight. And then goes absolutely crazy onto the ADC, trying to kill him. Yes, Boiz here. He's come all the way to the fight, but so has Tension. And Tension is ready to take them all down. It's only Gwen left. Can they finish the last raid boss that LPP have? Because they're actually picking up one right here. If they can just grab it, they can't get the healing. There you go, Golden. But now this is a really dangerous spot. A nice dash away. Sniper Boy still alive. alive. He gets taken down in the end, and Zeri is the hero.
Yeah, Lurker's doing an amazing job of just keeping this area alive. Says, yo, we force this fight. They force the Gwen TP, and the second they see the Gwen TP, they're just like, all right, I just ride my way back down there and force the fight. They get the A's, and now they can potentially just push out their lanes, save themselves here, cause enough space to push out where they can just go Baron.
I mean, tension just absolutely popped the fuck off in that fight. Like, holy shit.
Yep.
Like, I mean, this Zeri Yubi combo, again, we focused so much on this Gwen and her scaling and the Zed on how much
They
he scaled.
played perfect.
This lane has completely scaled now.
Yes.
This Zeri Yubi is practically fucking unstoppable at this
Yeah, especially
right?
with Infernal, it's such an insane soul for this area to be able to do all this damage. Yes, Hextech could potentially be better, but all this damage just means that like the Galio is just not enough to tank, and the Vi with the Frozen Heart is just all, and Sarah's just not
right now
enough
on
to
a
take this
Zanny
area.
Granny, trying to take him off in one auto, and they do. Nugs now trying to get away from the Zed, but can't double kill for the Zed.
shit,
Tiny
poor
pushing everybody off the fight, and they can't even stop him. Gwen gonna try to trade that life, so it's at least a 2-for-1. Now the jungler is down while Baron is up, but the other jungler might go down right here as well.
Nice
That
knock
picks up another kill, and they're going to look to extend this fight even longer as Tiny Inter is chewing down on the Rain Man right now, and he's going to eat him on up. Sniper Boy has to run for the hills, feels some safety under the tower, but this is going all the way of Lurkers as this game goes late.
They have 20 seconds before MF and Nami are up. I'm curious to see if they try and end here. I think the MF can help hold long enough to where they can't end, but they probably just push inhib here and might even just look for Baron. Looks like they're offering to say they might be trying to force the end
I think
here.
they're
I mean,
trying
it's
to
so
end
tough.
here.
They might be able
I mean,
to.
you have no ultimate Gwen, but you have no mid.
Yeah, it's just so hard for them to push into this Nami and this Gwen. And I mean, it might put them in a bad spot here, right? Because now LPP are going to have their members up, and now they're going to be able to push out and stop them from going for this Baron. Looks like the Zed will ult and try and hurt this Gwen here.
That was just deterring. They're saying,
It's
hey,
decent
back
damage
up,
off, but
don't
like
try
now
to
it's
come
so
in.
hard for Lurkers to go for Baron.
Yeah, this is just Baron here. I mean, you might be able to force Baron here.
Looks like they will try and cheese it. They might find Gwen here. Gwen goes a little far.
Yeah, looks like they are going to find a fight right now as Shogas entering on in. Looking for Sniper Boy. Massive ultimate from MF onto the back right there. Vi trying to protect him. Can't do it. It's going to get taken down. The Galio coming in, looking for a couple of them. But Tiny is totally bodying the other two, and they cannot help their team. Lurkers going to take this fight and probably the game.
Yeah, even if they back here, I mean, you don't have Namiel. Maybe in time, it is coming up fairly soon, but I just don't think it stops all of them because this is a 5-man squad. This isn't like the 3 with like only squishies. This is like all your the tanks. Malachi and Cho'Gath can just tank through this now. The Cho'Gath could get stacked early game, but does
she's trying to do it right now. She's gonna go in. Can she find it?
No.
Dead on the backside is already gonna find Zanny Granny. And they are gonna find that Gwen as well. Game 1, an intense back and forth, ends up going the way of the Lurkers.
Yeah, huge props goes to honestly like Tension, Amoristic, obviously like kind of the stars of the game, roast pork buns, but honestly, I hats off to Tiny Inter, man. He was put in such a tough situation this game.
Yes.
I mean, you're against the Gwen. I mean, also holy fucking shit, this Gwen damage.
You
What?
saw Gwen damage too.
What in God's name? Like, oh my God. But like, you're put in such a tough situation this game. I mean, you're
That
in the game,
chart.
right? You're in a counter matchup. You're kind of, getting the wrong side of it, and you just keep trying. You keep just making winning plays, right? You find key knockups in fights. You at least just stand in front of this area. You be in the right spots. And I mean, hats off to him, man. Because listen, myself included, I would not have been able to like kept my mental in this lane. Because oh my gosh.
All right, Full Metal, Zodiac.
Yeah.
Zodiac, here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to say your captain right now of LPP Boiz, and yes, chat, that is what the LPP stands for, LPP. You're the captain of LPP Boiz. You're the coach. You're telling them how we're going to change draft. Obviously, you're looking at this Zeri Yuumi. Do we need to take it off the table to start? But what else are you doing? You've lost. Do you have a side selection you want to do? Do you have a draft adaptation you're looking to do?
I mean, I think my biggest thing is you just need more damage out of your team, right? Because again, we talked about it so much. Again, Gwen is on the side. Like, Gwen is your hyper carry, right? But like, you don't have any damage anywhere else because MF can't properly sit there and press R because of how fed this Zed is, right? And how fed this Zeri is. And so you just need to find more damage in your comp. You need to have more angles to have more damage come out.
What do we do if you're on the side of Lurkers? How are you changing it? Does Gwen absolutely need to come off the table? Do you have something better you can help fill that void with to maybe go against her? Or are you saying, you know what, we got to respect when respect is due, and respect is due right now. We got to take this Gwen off the table.
I honestly don't even know if it's necessarily the Gwen. I think the Lurkers did everything great. You know, they caught the Gwen when they were overextended. Yes, Gwen was able to get a lot of pressure. I think their biggest focus is, okay, we know we can team fight, and we know how to pilot around our ADC and around our mid lane, and our top lane can bounce back. We need to focus on getting these dragons earlier and faster. Because realistically, the only reason why the Lurkers had such a hard time is because it took them so long to get these dragons, to get these across the map objectives. So
Right.
maybe it's less of, okay, let's deal with this Gwen, but maybe let's not give 6 grubs. Maybe let's not wait until 35 or 25, 26 minutes before getting this second dragon. You know, we know that their play is 6 grubs, and we know their play is that they want to split push. Let's just stop them from getting those advantages via the objectives.
I'm looking at these guys and I'm looking at, okay, how did that game go? What do we need to change? And do you think maybe Sauce runs a couple more ganks down bottom to try to block out tension to stop Amoristic from going absolutely crazy? Or do you think that the bans are going to be enough? Do you think that their playstyle will be mitigated by the fact that you're probably going to take either the Yuumi or the Zeri off the table on this?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like you have to take Gwen off this table, but like, you leave the threat of. I mean, I feel like you could probably take the Amumu, like take that away. Well, not take it away, but like leave the Amumu up and just ban the Gwen on first 3. Because this Gwen, again, despite the fact that it didn't win, it was a complete monster this game.
Yeah, Seraphine, Amumu, Shaco being banned out. So Zeri, Gwen, both still on the table so far. The Zed is going to be banned out by LPP. So LPP boys are recognizing the Zed was problematic. It was not great. Sammy, you're going to need to wait and have patience, or I will ban you from the LBLCS. Zeri is finally banned there.
Yeah, so what does that leave open? That leaves the Volibear. That leaves the Zyra open. Again, we talked about the Zyra before game 1. This is a comfort pick for Lurkers, probably both in support and jungle, but it will just be the Maokai again, just be wanting the tree.
Yeah, let's say they just want to keep it bread and butter here. I'd be curious to see what they want to go here for LPP for the first 2 picks. Do you just leave it with like the Nami MF again, or do you force like a split pusher here, knowing you might have it banned out second round? The only issue is you don't really want to blind that split pushing champ. So I'd be curious to see what they pick here. Maybe you knew that your issue was the team fight, so getting something like this is wanting to try and lock down that ADC might not be a bad idea here.
They will be Sejuoids. As my dear org owner, my dear friend, best force, less force, better than the rest force, making me drink for 10 seconds. Also,
This is great. I just get to sip on my Jack and Coke. I don't have to rush it.
Yeah,
No
I
one's
know.
making me drink 10. This is great. I'm enjoying my
what
drink.
the fuck, guy? All right, you know what? I'm fucking chugging this beer. I might turn on my camera to chug this beer. Hold on. Get fucked.
Also, since chat loves it so much, I'm gonna say we gotta swear as much as we can coming up this next game, just to really get
Yeah, I agree.
Jimmy's razzled.
I agree.
Yeah, we're gonna need to really pump.
Oh, Les Forest does want me to drink the 10 here. Realizes that I have just been slowly sipping this.
All right, you guys are down on it. I'm gonna start the next prediction on up right now, as we have already given the payout. And the Jinx Nami. So Nami switching hands this time as the Zeri is off the table. They don't want to go with the Yuumi again for a Yuumi Jinx. They're saying, no, that's a thing we like to do with the Zeri when we can grab it together on the blue side. We Did like the Maokai though. Tiny had a great game. Smart engages, smart disengages, great positioning. I really liked last game how Tiny decided to push Gwen away every single fight. As soon as Zeri started to get on that 3-item spike, once they got that 3-4 items, it was like Maokai's like, yeah, I have one job. Make sure we save Gwen for last. And I'm going to make sure we save Gwen for last. I'm going to CC her into Oblivion. I'm going to keep her off you guys. And you guys are going to shoot through their front line. In this game, everything is going to work a little bit differently, though. Nami's also going to have disengage. Jinx can still go hyper. So they're kind of still going to play through this crazy ADC idealistic comp right now.
I'm laughing. I've started to fucking copy paste in chat.
Sorry, I wasn't ready for all the 10s I got, so I had to switch to a simply spiked lemonade because I simply couldn't make a mixed drink fast enough.
No, yeah, but so I was also drinking, then I saw the copy pasta. But anyway, so important things to note here from this draft, just touching point on it. Kate into Jinx. Kate needs to dominate this lane, right? She must dominate this lane. If she falls behind against this Jinx, she is cooked, right? Because Kate is a champ designed to win lane,
Yeah.
right? Whereas the Maokai, Jinx, Nami, whoever the support is right now, and I would not be surprised to see a Lux or Morgana ban here on B5 ban.
Zyra, I think Zyra also.
Zyra, actually. Right?
Yeah. The only thing though is that you have this Orianna pick, and right now the only thing you really have to get in is a Sejuani, which yes, Sejuani does have a dash to get in, but I'd love to see LPP picking something here with maybe a go button, right? Maybe if you get like a Malphite or just anything that can go in to force the fight, maybe instead of doing the split, you just say, okay, you know what, you guys were able to catch your split. There you go. There's the Rel here. So Rel can now they have 2 go angles from LPP to say we're gonna go in and try and disrupt this Jinx.
Yeah, and what's interesting though is Rel Caitlyn is not a lane that I would have expected to come out because, like, Caitlyn really likes to play at such a huge range, right? But like Rel just kind of wants to get in that motherfucker, right? Just like jump in and just like I'm in this bitch.
Yeah.
And like Caitlyn's like, no, please, like I want to play from a range, guys. Like, haha, it will be so funny, right? So Cho'Gath is gonna be slammed here though from Lurkers, so Tiny enter just on that thing. Also, guys, apologies. To note, my org is letting me know that I'm being reported to my org owner Lest Force for cussing on this good Christian stream. My fault.
How dare you?
Yeah, my bad.
So they picked the Cho'Gath again, saying, you know what, we know they're gonna have counter pick. Let's just play safe. They don't have the Gwen this time, so maybe the Cho'Gath lane will go a little bit better here. Curious what they pick 3. They will be the Yone, so now they have a Maokai and Yone to go in. Looks like they're kind of keeping the same vibe, which is like having your mid on an AD assassin-esque, and then having the top lane just like play from behind, play safe, and let the Jinx in the mid lane kind of go off here.
I think
So it would be interesting to see what LPP looks like. They will go with Fiora, so it might be a similar type of game here.
Okay.
I do really like this Fiora pick here because if my team ever lets me play it, right? I think Fiora fucking dunks on Yone like at all points in the game because Yone has to like truly mix Fiora up because once he commits to R or Q3, it's very predictable for Fiora to just riposte it.
Yep.
And just instantly get the stun off on him. Now, once Yone hits about 3 items, that's when he can solo kill Fiora because like he will just start auto attacking her to death. But the interesting to note here, and the reason I really like this Yone pick here too, and despite the fact that it's kind of into this counter side lane matchup in Fiora, is because Yone stylistically counters what Rel wants to do, which opens him up to getting onto Caitlyn Orianna, right? Because Rel is just diving in like fuck my AD carry, I'm going in type beat. And Yone is just like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna ignore you and go kill your kid.
Yeah,
Right,
it'll just
so-
be tough though, because if they aren't able to lock down the Yone, especially before Yone uses his E, Yone doesn't really have a way of getting away from them, because the Rel will just charge at him. The Orianna will give them the movement speed to keep up. So it's gonna be another game of, you know, how well can this Cho'Gath hold against this split pusher, and how well can Lurkers mid lane, you know, kind of run the mid lane and try and convert that into dragons. It's interesting to see now that it's Yone into Orianna. You know, Yone can look for these angles onto Orianna that makes it very tough for her to stay in lane. So I'd love love to see Lurkers try and use that to their advantage and really play through this mid lane early to try and just get such a lead on Yone where the split push on Fiora just doesn't matter.
A couple of things to mention too with these comps that they have picked up is, I think if a lead does generate somehow, whether through great rotations or misplays, and Lurkers start to get ahead, they are a team that is going to snowball like there is no tomorrow. However, I think it's going to be harder to get ahead with their champs than what you have on LPP. And based on what we saw last game, I think LPP actually was winning a lot of the earlier fights, especially around mid-game. They were getting a better number of objectives to start the game as well, too. They got all of those grubs. Gwen was going crazy with it. So I think that they have something to really watch with how the tempo of this game goes, because they're also coming off of a loss. So, like, are they going to be hyper-aggressive? Are they going to say we need to make plays, make them early, and go, go, go? Or are they going to be sitting back and give the opportunity for tension for roast pork buns to get a lead on this Jinx, to get a lead on this Yone, and then turn it into more? Because if Yone starts the game with a kill or two from a nice gank from Maokai, this game gets out of hand pretty quick.
It's also going to be interesting to see how this Yone builds, because there's been a lot of debate, especially among me and my friends and the people that also play Yone, on how to build Yone. I feel like this game, the Bork Kraken Slayer build, where you're just kind of fully committing to, I'm just going to auto attack people to death, and like I really want that extended fight damage, is going to be so impactful here. Because I feel like as soon as he gets crit and drops his attack speed and extended fight damage, that's going to hinder how well he does against Fiora pre-3 items. I feel like once he gets that Bork Kraken Slayer and he's able to just like, okay, Fiora, I don't care, I'm just not using enemy abilities on you, I'm just going to auto you to death, right? I feel like that's going to be kind of where his strengths will lie a lot, especially as this game goes on.
Yeah, I feel like you innately want to build this like crit damage build because you're like, oh, like I have to reach this Orianna, I have to reach this Caitlyn. But like you said, like when it comes like mid game, late game, it's impossible for True to hold these split pushes like we saw last game. So yeah, Yon like although in the team fights could get a lot of value if you went that build against Orianna and Caitlyn, I think realistically more often than not he's gonna be matching this Fiora, and then in the fights where he can go in. Realistically, the second you can kill this Rel or kill this Sejuani in a fight, that gives Jinx the passive and gets Jinx excited enough to just sweep the rest of them.
So okay, so 1 second, I have like 2 compliments to give out, because JCB has been trying to get a compliment from me. That's literally
Okay,
why
yeah,
he
yeah.
compliment. But I'll just like circumvent it and compliment him, right? And then I had to comment fucking Dan. I had to compliment
You
Daniel.
I thought Picklehater was doing it for himself, but no, it's for Daniel Jones. All right,
It's
great.
for Daniel
You're
Jones.
going to do both. Go ahead.
Okay, so first for Chase. We picked up JCB kind of like right before the season started, because some weird things happened with our intended start generally, so we picked up JCB. And honestly, he has been a great addition. I feel like he responds to the things we ask him to do well. I think he is an incredible mechanical player. I feel like he has that right kind of competitive drive where he doesn't necessarily like to lose, right? But he is always open to, hey, I need to improve here, I need to improve there. And honestly, he's just been a great vibe. He's been a good person to vibe out with. He's always active in the Team Volatility Rat Knight server, right? And I think sorry, my financial top laner is now talking in chat right now. But Chasey B was honestly one of the great pickups we've been able to get. And
Great. Now
honestly,
Daniel Jones.
He's a great dude to buy. Okay, moving on to Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, I think you had like one really good season when fucking Ryan Dayball like put the training wheels on you, right? But like at that point, you could argue that like, hey, he's kind of like one of the best, like most underrated QBs in the league. So like, I think Daniel Jones, unironically, if he gets a team where everyone is incredibly more talented than he is, I think Daniel Jones could really do great things and probably be in this like weird kind of Brock Purdy range where it's like, okay, well, like Brock Purdy is he really good or is the team around him really good? So
Great. That was the most underhanded compliment at the end there. I
Yeah.
loved it so much. It was like, yeah, if you get carried, you could do it if you get carried. You're carryable. You're carryable. That's my compliment.
Yeah, but you know what though? You know what? Tiny Inter was behind all
I was just
of
gonna
early game
mention it.
one. But Tiny Inter like was able to hold enough where they were able to win. So
Dude,
maybe
Tiny
Daniel
Inter's my
Jones,
Daniel Jones.
just has to hold and be secure enough where the rest of his team wins, and that's what makes Daniel Jones
Okay,
so
hold on,
strong.
I gotta answer a question in chat for my top lane. What
Yeah.
are my thoughts on El Yoya, Mr. Mason? So my thoughts on El Yoya as follows. I think El Yoya, if he was on any other team other than fucking Mad Lions, where he has to play with literally top lane every fucking game,
I'm at
I think
25
Underground
seconds.
could be a really good jungler.
To Summoner's
I'm at 30.
Rift.
But
I'm at 30
I'm
now.
at 30.
Okay.
Okay, I'm pausing at 35.
I'm at 35 now.
30
Great, and
seconds
we're all
until
lined up. We did it.
minions
Great
spawn.
work, team. Great work. Good mention. Okay, so I'm just gonna recap that. That was a lot of things to talk about really quickly. Let's just get into it super fast. Tiny Inter,
Okay,
Daniel
I'm
Jones,
gonna
and
use
the
the bathroom really
LBLCS.
quick.
That's the first thing you need to know from that.
This
That's-
is perfect timing because I'm using the bathroom right now.
Great.
so,
You go use the bathroom. I'm gonna recap everything you've ever said. So in the early stages, he was like a lot of goo goo gagas, a lot of mama papas. When I said everything, I mean we're going down the fucking list from the beginning. I mean I'm talking baby talk.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm writing this all down.
What's weird about Zodiac that not a lot of people know is the first couple words he actually learned, other than calling Chasey B Pislo Elo, is actually just food. So big food guy. Make sure you ask him about the first couple of foods he learned as a kid when he comes back. Talk to me about these starts here because we got Maokai starting alone over here on Raptors.
So realistically, LPP know that again they have this Fiora. They know they're gonna want the early grubs again. I'd be concerned if Lurkers just let them have it. So although the Maokai is starting alone, maybe they're just trying to fast clear here and maybe try and get topside. But with the way they're clearing, could also look for an early gank mid lane here. So maybe Lurkers are like, you know what? Like, we can stop them from getting grubs by just killing them. So we know that both teams love fighting early. And with the Maokai, if you get level 3
Someone
here,
get
you
a-
can force a fight.
Did someone get a pentakill yet?
Not yet. We're only
no.
2 minutes in, so only 2 double kills so far.
Oh damn, that sucks.
But
I'm sorry, did you
otherwise,
take
it looks
us to
kind
the
of normal. The
bathroom
only
with
interesting
you?
thing to know is top lane. It looks like Fiora's
Huh?
taking more damage than the Cho'Gath.
Taking a lot of damage. Nice Q right there is going to help out, and the grasp is doing work. Tiny Inter doesn't have to play against the Gwen, just the Fiora this time, but his CC is going to be super telegraphed come later. The riposte is going to be super easy to hit, so going to be very careful with when you use things and how you use things here. Level 3 is picked up. Sniper Boy.
Yeah, I mean, Sejuani is going to clear faster here, so although the bot lane does have to help the Sejuani, it looks like Sejuani's going to use that to be able to get to top lane earlier, because it looks like Maokai with the, getting the first camp alone means that Maokai's going to be a bit behind. So with Sniper Boy looking for these early fights, it might mean that Sauce can look for a play here.
Go to riposte right there. Should be able to finish him off. One more auto attack. Can he get it on the right side? He does. First blood going over the way of Sniper Boy. Down here, there's going to be another fight. Nice flash away from tension, but they still find some CC. She's not on the trap, though. Zanny Granny has to be careful, taking a little bit of damage right there.
Looks like Sauce might be looking for an invade here. Is fighting at the blue with Tiny. It does force the TP out of Cho, so Cho will be able to come down. Looks like Cho will stay in lane. Sauce might just be giving this away. Looks like Tiny will be forced to smite. Does leave Tiny, left without a smite for the scuttle, at least for now. But Sauce not having Sniper Boy TP does mean that Sauce has to give away this early crab as well.
And over in the mid lane right now, those 4 buns going in on Rain Man, doing the damage that he can. Nice little trade right there.
Yeah, Orianna actually doing a really good amount of damage there. Usually it's really hard for Orianna to kind of trade with Yone, especially when Yone gets in like that. But Rayman doing an excellent job of just shielding and just autoing and saying, you know what, I'll just let my autos do most of the damage here and just use my ball for shielding. And it works out pretty well. It does mean that Yone, does have this lane pushing. It's going to be hard for Orianna to catch all this wave. But
Top lane, they're
looks
gonna
like
look
Sauce
for
will look for
another
getting top.
little bit of CC as the parry hits again. Everything going down on Tiny Inter, and Sniper Boy goes 2-0 to start this game.
Yeah, and I mean, that's TP down as well, so Fiora's going to get a lot of pressure here as well, potentially pushing. Looks like they might just leave the lane where it is, saying, you know what, this lane's pushing into me. I can just TP and just freeze this here, and Cho'Gath will never touch a wave again.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that Tiamat start on that floor, I don't know if I agree with this, given the current lane shift. Because again, you're gonna have that weight frozen. You do have the ability to soak up all the CS, and again, you're not threatened by the Cho'Gath kind of out pushing you. You
Right.
are Fiora at this point. You can just kind of walk at them. So I think maybe Sundered Sky here might have been a better first item, but. I mean, I don't play Fiora, so like.
Well, we know how
I'm
Sniper
sure-
Boy likes to play. We watched last game, and Sniper Boy is like, I actually don't give a crap about what my team is doing. I give a crap, can I kill people in fights, and can I shove waves faster than they can kill my team? Because that's what we saw last game. We saw them prioritize those grubs. If they're doing the same strategy this game, if like overall, oh, nice ultimate right here from Roast Pork Buns, doesn't connect though. Rayman gives him the thumbs
Sauce
up.
is
He's gonna
there.
drop the shockwave. He's gonna
Oh,
flash
nice
out, but
flash.
Sauce is here. And this might be a kill pick up. The flash forward, the auto attacks. They are gonna get it. Sedge on that kill. If they are going for that grub strategy like I was talking about, right? This is a good thing to do. Crash wave, crash wave, crash wave. Force him to back as soon as you can. Pick up more grubs. And then you have a Fiora who
Yeah.
can push like crazy.
Tiny is in this bot lane, but he's just soaking XP. They can't really force a play here. Maybe they can look and get on this Caitlyn,
Yes,
but it doesn't
flash.
like really.
This is
And
the
then
time
the
now.
forward from Zanny. Granny
Oh
Heal
my
being
gosh.
dropped right now. Tiny is gonna chase him down. Sauce is like, wait, I actually cannot help you. Good luck walking out of that one, old lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is interesting to see the Sejuani and see the Sauce come down here for the Dragon. You know, they know that they have
God.
all this pressure topside. They're wasting a lot. Wait, did
Is
they
Zanny
not
gonna
kill a
get
Red
out?
Heal?
Is Zanny gonna get out? Can he use that W right now? Can he get the stun off? He does get the stun off. Can he get a little bit of distance? Can he get far enough away? He can. Oh my
Rel gets
God.
away. It does
Dude.
mean that they can potentially, Lurkers can look for drag here. Looks like they're just going to clear vision now. Looks like they may look for it and they get dragged, but Rel leaves without dying. That is insane. Really
This
well
is what
played.
we call calculated from that. Zanny Granny is in chat saying like, that was all calculated. I totally meant to do that. I did miss my W on the stun target, but like, it was part of my master plan.
Well, the master plan does mean that they do not give a kill over to the Jinx, at least yet, but they do seem to lose Dragon here,
Yeah.
and they don't get any voids. So it's going to be tough for them to really force the voids now. Fiora forced it back without TP here. She does have a decent buy, it seems. You know, can get the Vampiric Scepter, means that she can stay in these lanes longer. It looks like Sauce will opt to start this with Orianna shoving. So maybe Sauce can get them, but if Tiny Inter gets any mana from killing these minions and can get down there, could potentially look at like fighting this with the Yone coming up as well. But looks like with the Maokai backing, the Cho'Gath not able to get enough mana. Looks like it will mean that Sauce just gets these 3 grubs.
Yeah, and an interesting thing to note here is that even in this Caitlyn, right, a lane that you're supposed to be dominating, a lane that you're supposed to be up in CS, well, Kate's currently down in CS. And there's about to be a huge wave crashing into this Jinx, so able to soak all of that up here. So this bot lane right now not going the way.
Has a little better
that
position
LPP
though to
wanted.
fight now. Has a BF sword picked up. So going a little bit more teching into being able to fight this Jinx, and we did see a little pressure from that Maokai. And we know Sedge plays around the top side, so the bot lane has to be aware, like, yeah, Sedge is probably never coming here for a gank. They want to play for grubs. So you have to take all that into account too. Like, if you are Nugs, like, I got a job. It's to stay pretty close in gold and kill with Rel as soon as I can.
Yeah, I mean, with Sauce being able to be top and mid, it means that this Fiora is 2-0. Because remember, those 2 kills were both with ganks.
Yep.
Yes, Sniper is able to do damage, but those ganks meant that Fiora got 2 kills and meant that they got the 3 grubs early. And it means that they were able to use this split pusher to the maximum. You know, like, yes, the Caitlyn is down, but so is the Cho'Gath. So it's going to be tough to see if they can convert it better than they did last game. But so far, LPP is getting the same advantages early game that they did last game.
Yeah, and the other important thing to note here is there is no like super big mid lane.
Oh, looks like they're going for a dive top lane.
Ultimate getting
They
dropped
pulled the
right
trigger
now.
and they-
Sniper Boy getting dropped their
Oh,
ultimate
that's
as well. Good use of the CC. Can he get him? Trying to just create distance, and Tiny is here now, trying to finish off Sauce. And look at the damage that Maokai can do alone. Gonna pick up 1 kill.
Nah, I would be so mad if I'm Sauce there. Like, the Sejuani bullet exploded right on top of the
Almost getting dropped right now. Rel's going to use theirs as well. Magnetic Storm on that tension. Flash away from Nugs. All you have to do is kind of win the fight and be able to ult if you're either of these ADCs. So Super Mega Death Rocket and the Snipe from Nugs both available. Not sure if anything will get dropped here.
Looks like Zany does a really good job at just holding them there and forcing them to back up. It saves the Caitlyn. It means that they get to stay in this lane here. And now Sejuani just having used ult top, you collected all of her farm up there. It has respawned, but now she's able to come down bot lane, try and take up pressure. It looks like Pork Buns might walk down and might be walking right into Sauce here. Big Pork will walk up.
Luffy, I'm gonna push back on that in chat. You don't have to, you could be a goblin, you could be AI, you could be whatever you want to be. Just
Be more.
be nice. Be more. 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 Be more.
Be more.
Know how you shot call it and beat more.
Be more. Yo guys, be more. I think we take be more. I'm gonna start doing that with my team. Be sentient.
Be sentient.
Let's do
Alright.
that one too.
Yeah, we love AI here.
Yeah.
We don't
This-
discriminate.
This stream is actually brought to you by ChatGPT.
This actually was just a prompt. We're not real people talking. This is a prompt someone put in, and we've been on Twitch since, and we can't get out.
This game was actually played like 20 days ago. We've just been downloading it, and we've made these prompts based off of this. Chat as well. Chat is also 20 days old.
Yes. Yeah. That,
Yeah, no one in that chat's real. If you're reading it somehow, I don't know when you're doing that, but none of this is real. This is all fake.
Yeah, if you're in chat right now, please try and convince the rest of chat that you're real, because
It
for all
won't
you know,
work.
the rest of chat is AI.
It won't work. They won't believe you.
Looks like Danny Granny is gonna
Bro,
look.
did not have so many spare words. Here comes Yon going in right there, gonna get hit up. They're going crazy with the ultimates onto him. He's able to escape with a little bit of his life left, and here comes the
nice
might be enough,
double,
but they
though.
go golden in the Magnet Storm coming out from Zanny Granny. Tiny gonna respond with their own. Sauce in some trouble, gonna get CC'd, gonna maybe get knocked back here. The teleport now coming in as flashes to get out of this fight go down, and Fiora shows up as just a precaution.
Yeah, it does mean that no one dies on the side of LPP, at least there. So they are down most ults on both sides. You still have Jinx Rocket, and you still do have Sejuani ult. So it looks like LPP will try and force the
Tiny getting
grub
caught
to
out, everything's
force
going
the
down on
TP.
him, trying to flash away, uses W to stay alive for a little bit longer, but all of these other teleports coming in right now. Amoristic trying to stay alive. Can they CC Sniper Boy underneath this tower right now? And Nitro Post keeps him alive for a little bit longer. Zandy Granny is here to get some stuns off too. This snap back might be able to almost finish them off. They can't quite grab them. They are on the grubs. They're trying to juggle these things. Sniper Boy, the grubs might take you down. You have to be careful up there.
Yeah, Sauce wants to get the grubs there, but with Sniper Boy looking for the kills, Sauce is unable to get them. Might actually work against Sniper Boy here. Although you want the kills, you care about the grubs more. It does mean the Tiny Injury can potentially look at them, because even if they're able to get one or two off, that's exactly what Lurkers need here. They need to stop these voids from being taken by LPP. So the Cho'Gath will force it here, potentially ult one of them. It will not count as a minion kill. It will count as an epic monster take. So Cho getting the stack there, and it looks like they're going to be able to get all three as well.
Denying is more important than getting, I feel like, in this.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
And again, I keep referencing it, especially in this mid lane, where I feel like kind of the game has been so different. Because again, we saw this last game where Sniper Boy gets a lead in top lane. They do get a large chunk of the growth. They are kind of controlling the lane. But the big difference right now is the Rain Man right now is playing so well on this Orianna. Over 20 CS up. Even bought the stopwatch.
Yeah,
you know,
Rain
which
Man's
is a
crazy.
1,500 gold investment. And it paid dividends, right?
Yep.
If Orion does not stopwatch that fight, they are guaranteed dead in that moment. Again,
Been
no
getting
one died
dropped.
in that
Tidal
fight.
wave going
Sauce here
down.
looking.
Sejuani is able to secure the dragon, but at what cost?
Will be the life, but it does mean that you stop the dragon stacking on the side of Lurkers in exchange for the grubs. The only thing is that, yes, this Fiora split push will be a lot weaker than it was on the Gwen because of the lack of voids. But it looks like Sniper Boy doesn't really care, will just dive in for this turret damage anyway. Might be taking a bit of damage, but does have the the Ravenous Hydra, to lifesteal this back up. So we'll keep pressure on the Cho'Gath here. We'll try and get this pushed out so maybe they can convert it over to a Rift Herald. But it's going to be tough. And like you said, Zodiac, I mean, the major difference is definitely this Orianna. Orianna's already at 336 stacks on this Archangels. That's going to evolve soon once it gets to 360. So we're going to see Seraph's Embrace pretty soon here. And then the Shatter's Arm Guard obviously going to convert over to the Zonias. So Orianna just wants to play safe, get as many stacks as possible, and try and shut down this Jinx with a good shotgun.
Magnetstorm coming out, ultimate not going to connect onto Nugs. Andy Rain taking a lot of damage right now, but still staying alive and back onto the trap, just like Nugs had planned. LPP going to get a kill onto their ADC.
Yeah,
is it
Fun's just not. I guess I'm not sure. I guess I saw the video. Like, hey, it's a level 7 rel. Like, I think I can kill this here. But again, he doesn't have finished Bork at this point. Bork is such a power spike on this unit that until you have it, you have to view yourself like, okay, I am not strong. I am an R-bot. If I can hit multiple people if I are in a fight, that's great. But until you get Bork, you are not strong.
Might be a big fight right here. Tidal Wave does come out, and they're fighting a lot of damage. It's actually Maokai that's going to pick that up, so Tiny grabs that Sniper Boy, taking a lot of damage. Might be in death zone right there. Does use the repulse. Here comes an ultimate in response. Rainman in a bad place. Can he stay alive? He's going to flash over the walls. Andy Granny trying to do what they can. Sniper Boy trying to stay alive, but he can't. The shutdown kill goes over to Tiny Inter, and now Orianna's on the run. Her team is not here to help, though. A little bit of CC might keep her safe. That's a lot of damage from Tiny, though. This guy has built Leandries, and it hurts.
Yeah, it looks like Sauce might look for re-engage, but I think the LPP just needs to get back, maybe get the red buff now they've left. And beautifully played down in bot lane again by Nugs to get that kill, because you have to realize, Caitlyn only just got Collector and has immediately gotten a kill. Yes, it's only 25 gold, but that does mean that the Collector's already getting value, and it's going to help this Caitlyn get back from this early deficit that she's had against this Jinx.
Yeah, the other thing to note too is, so in that kind of scrap, and this is the downside of rushing that 6 years on guards as the Orianna, is because that is such a pricey investment. As Tiny is saying, like, no, you don't get this repelled. I'm just leaving.
And I've played Yone before, and this is all I ever want to do as well. Just look for the kill on the Orianna. Can't grab it there, but does totally chunk Rainman out.
Yeah, forcing Rainman away from these waves is huge for Yone, because right now Yone is just down in power, and knowing the Orianna doesn't really have a lot of AP yet, now is the best time to try and chunk her out. But with the jungle pressure that LPP have, Orianna's able to stay and get this wave.
Fiora still chasing Shogath up the top lane. Tiny also in a lot of trouble, dropping some ultimates.
Oh,
Fiora's
they
able to
left
grab the
Tiny
kill up in the top lane, so they are missing Tiny Inter right now. And here comes an ultimate trying to look for. He's trying to stay alive. He did for a little bit longer than we thought he would, but they pick up 2 across the map. And as we talked about, right, LPP, they do this. They did this last game. They're doing it this game. They are so good at these early skirmishes. They've done a really good job. But Tension, again, flying under the radar, still has not died. Amoristic still has not died. He's been farming well on this Jinx. We gotta see what ends up happening come these later team fights, because they have to switch focus off of the things like the Maokai, off of the things like the Yone, and start looking for the Jinx in a couple minutes.
Yeah, Roast Pork just jumping out of this fight. You know, in this situation again, recognizing, hey, I'm not strong enough. Looks like he will go for this Frankenstein, and Sejuani will throw down here.
This is what a caster curse is. You say something about a player, and then they die. Oh my, wait, maybe not. The flash away, the bubble. Amoristic says, I'm not going down, period.
Mommy says, screw you.
I'm out.
Screw you on the caster curse. I will still live this. Does an excellent job of holding up a Sniper Boy. Maybe gets a kill here. Gets the kill on the Yone, and Yone with the 3 daggers in Bork is just not enough to deal with this Fiora. The Fiora is so far ahead, she doesn't even need the 6 scrub. She can push on her own. It looks like with the Phage and with the Sheen, she's probably going try, I believe. Yes. But realistically, I think Sniper Boy might just be able to pull off like a hole breaker or something, just commit to split push. Yes, they don't have 6 scrubs, but Fiora is such a menace on these side lanes.
For Tiny right now, Ignite gonna go dropped on him as well, so
looks like the Maokai ult is used, but it's just not, you don't have any follow-up. It saves you, but I think this dragon is long gone. I think without having Maokai ult, without having Yone there, with Jinx top lane, this dragon is LPP's for the day.
Yeah, and they're kind of saying, we don't want it, we don't need it, we're just gonna get Jinx up 30 CS right now, let her start to get really fed, maybe put some pressure around the fact that we could even maybe give her a solo tower. We have vision on all 5 of them right now, and we're pushing out bot and mid.
Yeah, we do see Fiora now hovering around bot red buff here, dashing over the Krug wall.
Uh-oh.
So,
They're looking for the gap. They're
Tiny
looking for the
Inter in
Cho'Gath
trouble.
here. Everything gonna get dropped on him as they just collide on a Cho'Gath, and they're gonna take him down.
Yeah, it's just there's nothing you can do. You don't have Maokai ult. You use a Nami ult, but it's just not enough. Now with 2-3 ults going in to take out the Cho'Gath, I mean, all they have to do is back here. Even if you stop it back, I don't think it's worth it. I think they can turn on you.
Very, very dangerous.
Because they'll use a Rel ult. They're trying to kill Tiny. Maybe not enough.
Nice bubble
Oh
right
my!
Oh my god, they might be able to turn that right
God.
there, actually. Gotta be careful on
Sniper getting a
boy.
little
Good use
excited.
to the
Beautiful
repose.
pose.
Great repose.
Oh, here comes Jinxar though.
No way.
Oh, Jinxar NTP. Jinxar missing. Pork Barn might have a
Donate.
nasty triple here.
Humoristic.
Cyberboy's just gonna die.
Just autoing. He takes it down eventually.
That is the correct play to make. That's the correct play.
Aw.
Yeah, they're
A
looking for
little
the rest
too
of them
early on
right
the E
now.
means that Yon can't kill the Caitlyn. Maybe they get the Rel here. Looks like Cho might pick up the Caitlyn with R. Yep, gets the feast on. It does mean that Lurks does get 2 kills there for the 1. Does also get the shutdown. Sadly, it is on the Nami and not the Jinx. Jinx a little bit starved for this game. I'm curious on how they're going to get tension into this game.
Yeah, and my biggest question, at least this fight, at least for the Jinx, is I understand that so many people value Kraken player on Jinx because again, that ramping damage, that's so much attack speed. But like my question right now is like, okay, if you're Jinx this game, how are you ever going to auto attack anyone in these fights, right? The idea is you have Tiny Inter. Sorry, forgive me, I didn't mean to just call him Inter. That's, you must forgive me.
Tiny enters a tiny bit. Into a little bit.
Yeah, Tiny Inter and Tiny to stand in front of you and you're going to kind of disrupt. That's me, Lou. Hold on, let me get close to my mic here. But like my problem is right is that like you have Rel jumping in your face, you have Orianna, or you have Fiora jumping in your face. Like, how are you ever really gonna get that much value out of Kraken Slayer this game?
Right.
Also,
It's
very quick blades for Fiona.
It's very tough. I think, you know, realistically, Lurkers just need to push. They know that, generally speaking, they do pretty well in team fights. I feel like they just haven't really had a team fight where they have Jinx there. More often than not, like, Jinx is either in mid or in our lane. Looks like Lurkers may be able to find a kill here. They do find the Rel, but
Nice
if
flash.
LPP has so many people there, they get the flash, they get them off, but now Fiora just looks bot lane.
Yeah, Fiora's looking for the Cho'Gath. They do know she is in the area, but will it even matter at this point?
Tension's there. I'm curious if Inter tries finding something. I'm just gonna call it Tiny Inter. You've been donned Inter. You're doing an amazing job though. This Cho'Gath already has 103 stacks. It's way more than last game, so it's doing a really good job at staying alive and getting these stacks. Last game we saw that go from 43 stacks at this timestamp to 400 at the end. So I think this Cho'Gath, although yes, like is into the Fiora again, but I think Cho'Gath is doing an amazing job at getting these stacks.
Nice.
Lands an amazing knockup. Pork Buns might look for a flank on Fiora here.
Yeah, here comes Yone into here as well, just trying to find the damage, and they do. Tiny Inter kills them. I know they have a small advantage here right now, and they're actually going to get engaged on the flash from Tiny. Everything is going wrong all of a sudden. Good use of the golden from Rain Man to stay alive for a little bit longer, but great positioning from Tension. Magnet Storm going to get dropped, and Shockwave onto the back end as well. Tension getting hit up with a little bit of damage, but they're able to hang on. Tiny said I could take that one. They let him.
Yeah, and again, right now, Tension just still has the Super Mega Depth Rocket, so
Could look.
pressure is always up.
Drops
Oh,
it right now.
Oh, just not enough damage. The shield just able to save Orianna there. The major difference from last game and this game is that when the Lurkers are able to find the pick on Fiora, usually like last game they were able to also convert the team fight mid and get the win. But now with this Orianna having this lead,
Teleport
having
coming
this
in right
Seris,
now,
having
Fiora.
Zonias means that they can live the team fight.
Yeah, Fiora's looking for something right now, too. Is going to go in, and nice use of their
nice
post
stuff.
on the traps. They're going to pick up a big amount of gold right there from that Jinx. Put it onto the Fiora. The split push Fiora is going to be online like crazy.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to push out mid lane and potentially go Dragon here. It looks like they are opting to go for Baron. I'm curious if they go for it. They're setting all 5 members up there.
Yeah.
They know Cho'Gath this bot lane is backing, could TP there.
He's gonna go for the
But
Drake
they don't
instead.
have Jace for 20 seconds. This could be LPP's Baron.
Yeah,
and
big
I
play.
think the biggest thing too is like on that play, it's such an unfortunate time for the Jinx because Fiora did not mean to riposte the Jinxie. She meant to riposte the Nami build that she knew was coming out, but Jinx threw her traps right at that exact same time, and they procced as her riposte was going forward. So therefore, it becomes a stun instead of just a normal riposte, and that secures the kill onto the Jinx, and that secures the Baron.
Yeah, good call by Lurkers though. They know that because of that lost Jinx, they know they can't battle the Baron. And instead of trying to like fight and see if they can get a pick, they just say, you know what, we're gonna get Baron, we're just gonna get Dragon. We know we're gonna be a bit behind. We know they have Baron for a bit, but at least now we do get this Dragon and we start stacking again just like last game.
I will
So,
say,
good heads up on them. They do still have the issue where yes, this Jinx has only died once, but Jinx hasn't really gotten any kills.
Tiny
So-
Inter, like, well, we talked about him a lot, but not winning lanes this game, but actually just always doing the right thing, holding for as long as he can. I saw him ping, call out that they wanted to go for that Drake right there when they're going for the Baron. He stopped his back, he immediately went to the Drake. They pick it up. He is still scaling. Yeah, he's down 80 CS, but it's graceful. He can lose lane gracefully. He really is, and dare I say, the Daniel Jones of the LBLCS.
That is
For
true.
sure, for sure. Also, can we check this Cho'Gath stacks? I'm curious to see where it lands.
Just a minute as
Wow,
Magnustar being
Boiz,
dropped
oh,
right
nice
now. The
cancel on
ultimate
the
getting
Q3.
used, trying to stay alive for as long as he can, but Tiny now trying to come to the rescue. Tidal Wave going to be used as well. The CC chain is here. Zanny Granny getting hit up all of it right there. Tiny going to get, oh, Super Mega Death Rocket just misses as they get separated in the back right there. And they're trying to finish off Rain Man right here. Tension gaining, going to flash forward, going to get the auto attacks in, is going to pick up that kill. Talk about a kill on a Jinx. There it is. The teleport comes in to help hold against the Fiora.
Yeah, and just a bit more than they could chew there from Sauce and Zanny Granny on this Yone. It was a great cancel on the Q3 from Yone to kind of yank him back so he couldn't do it, but they just don't have the damage to finish him off here. And it just ends up being a great turn. Again, Jinx gets a kill. I believe it ends up only being a 2-for-1, but you kind of get this Jinx some gold. You get some gold in her pockets where, you know, she could become this kind of hyper carry.
Yeah, and that also is a shutdown on the Jinx. So now Jinx gets a shutdown, also gets this wave here. Might be able to convert the daggers over to at least a half item, if not full item here at this point. It has been a while since Jinx has bought. It looks like it will just be the Zeal and the Scout Slingshot. So Jinx slowly coming online. It's a little delayed versus last game. But again, like, Jinx is going to be your major damage carry come this late game, while the Yone tries to catch this Fiora. And the Cho'Gath just scales as before, already at the 164 mark on the Heart Seal. And the Maokai with the Warmogs. These are two very strong front lines for this Jinx to really succeed.
You know, it's always funny though, like with the AD carry builds, like think about it, like you got like someone with like 2 guns who can fire like a rocket that can canonically like blow up buildings, and like, yes guys, I need this slingshot. Like this is how I'm
buying a
going
sword.
to.
I'm buying a sword.
I'm
Well-
buying exactly like I'm buying a sword.
Well, yeah, sword, you know, historically has always been a high damage early on historically, and then you've built up from a sword. You've
High-
gone from a
high
sword
damage early
to
game
a
item in
saber to an artillery gun.
I mean, it's true. Like, think about like the magic items that like, you know, like blow things up instantly. I've always scaled better than like the people with swords. So like,
It is also interesting to see that a Fiora with just like a little saber is also just running the Trinity Force. It's just running this force of power.
They've actually chosen Rain Man to come fight. Oh, nice flash away from the ultimate right there, but still taking so much damage. This is the point of the game where Yone is just a force to reckon with. Finished 3 items, sitting on 250 farm. So hard to deal with. That ultimate is down though. It gives Rain Man maybe some respite, but not if Fork is on the
looks like
backside,
Young would
and
go in.
he is going to find it and take him down. And Sniper might be in some trouble as well. Nice tidal wave going to be used right there, but her damage is massive, especially with the ultimate just chasing down with the Qs. Tiny on the backside is right here. Great repose to stay alive for a little bit longer. Good ultimate from Sauce, trying to just give their carry some separation, but Tiny follows all the way back. Super Mega Death Rocket does a lot, but not enough to finish him off. They are trying to chase him down. They should be able to. The W's not enough, and they don't get the bounce from the title. Tiny trying to find a little bit of distance with that W. Good use from Nugs as well, but this is going to be a 5v4. If Yon can come on down here, he does not have teleport up, actually. No one can join. No one goes down.
Yeah.
But Yone could just keep split pushing here. Again, he does have that 3M. He does kind of rip through these turrets right now. And again,
Yeah, the LPP here is in a tough
really
spot, 'cause if they all back here, they just give this drag for free. I'm curious if LPP try and, keep a champ or two here to try and zone this off. But it looks like with all that pressure, they just get the drag for free as well.
Yeah, and this is a big turning point because we talked about this happening in game 1, and it did happen in game 1. We talked about it even before game 1, right? LPP is a team that likes to win early, and push that lead and hammer it in. But these little breaths of life, they picked scaling champs on the side of Lurkers, and they're scaling. The 4-3-3 on the Yon and the Jinx both have the most CS in the game. They are getting to these big monumental 3-4 item spikes. They're going to be really hard to take down in fights because of the damage they're outputting.
Yeah, it's going to come down to whether or not this Fiora can stay safe, right? Because the LPP's biggest issue before was you have so much damage, you have so much power on this split pusher, but Fiora just kept getting caught, and, earlier on in the game, it's not that bad because you can potentially, trade the pick for an objective. But now, as if Fiora's getting caught, it's meaning that Lurkers are able to Dragon stack, and Lurkers are looking at a soul again. So it's going to be interesting. Can Sniper, push, but do it safe enough where it doesn't mean they lose the rest of the map?
Yeah, what's interesting that the Hull Breaker is active on the Sniper, so fully committing to this split push here. That's the dead Yone.
Yeah, and that does mean that Fiora gets a hard shove. This meaning they have to send Cho'Gath, potentially someone else down. I'm curious to see if LPP use this advantage to try and look for, at least Baron pressure here. You have this Caitlyn who has damage. You have this Orianna here who's really safe. You could look for pressure here while Lurkers are forced to answer this Fiora.
And this is the big advantage Fiora has provided for them. Getting a kill onto a big player with a lot of gold. Now they have a numbers advantage, and even more so too, because they've got the tank down here and he's already taken down the tower. Now going to look for more on to Tiny Inter. All the team needs to do is stop anyone from backing. Trying to get this Baron, just solos Cho'Gath.
There he goes.
They're forced this Baron. Yone's not up for 5 seconds.
Fight is going to have the teleport coming in. Teleport coming in right now. They're even more, but they're able to pick up one right there. Tension starting to pop off, but good CC gets locked up and is going to get taken down right there with the ultimate from Nugs. They're looking for more. Yone is there, but he gets on a trap, and he gets taken down before he can even use an ability. Tiny also looking on. The Rayman is going to pick up that kill, is going to create some separation, but Fiora's just running directly down to the inhib right now, looking for a way to end this game. The only job Sedge has is don't die to Tiny. Try to stop the back. Gonna flash for the plants right there, because all they have to do is end the game right now. Sauce has to stop this back the last second that they can, and they stop it again. No one is back. No one is there for Fiora. Fiora is looking to end the game. Fiora can end this game right now. Cho'Gath is up. It's too little, too late. Sniper's gonna be able to end this game right now. We're gonna go to a game 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Beautifully played by Sniper. Not only gets the split push off so much that they're only left with Nexus turrets, gets the TP to come back to the fight and clear, and makes the heads up call to say, you know what, we don't need to chase, we don't need to get kills, we don't need to get Baron, we can just go into end, and does just that.
Wild game. Great series, just straight up from these two teams. This is one of the closest series I've had the pleasure of casting in a while. Really fun, and even more fun for me, and I'm just going to shout this out there when we've got 70 people listening. They never switched sides, which means I never had to change anything about the stream. All the logos are in the same spots. Everything's the
I'd be
same.
curious if they switch sides. Now, last game it was on LPP side to choose. They chose to stay because they want to give the counter. I'm curious if Lurkers decide, you know what? Let's force them on blue just for the sole purpose of not giving their top laner a counter pick split pusher. But so far sitting in the lobby, it looks like they're staying the same sides. I'm curious if this changes.
Yeah, that's the curious thing too, because I feel like LPP is just getting so much value of picking these R5 tank shredder pure split push champions that Tiny Inter just kind of has to answer. And like again, they were able to work it out with the Gwen, but that was because the Zeri was so fed in that game, and you had the Yumi to kind of keep her alive and just stay attached where they are also safe. But in this game again, you have the Nami. Nami isn't Nami can't just hook herself to a champion and be like, all right guys, you guys do all the fighting for me. I'll be here to buff this champion up. Right? There is a chance that Nami has to position themselves correctly in these fights, but Sniper Boy just put in so much work.
Yeah, Sniper Boy really standing out on this squad of LPP here, just doing their best at making these split pushes work. For game one, it was a little unfortunate. They just couldn't get enough pressure down in the matter of time they needed before this area just popped. But this game, I mean, Rayman did an excellent job at just building all these defensive items. Gets the Seraphs, gets the early Seeker's Arm Guard just to stay safe and not give this Yone enough gold to be able to hold this Fiora. We saw that happen, earlier on in that fight. You have to remember, Fiora just instantly killed the Yone bot lane, and that's what gave Fiora the pressure to be able to push the bot lane. Killed the chokeout solo again with the ultimate cooldown being so low that late in the game. That again, like as long as Rayman can stay safe and we get Sniper Boy on a split pusher, I mean LPP is looking really clean on these split push comps.
And we just have a moment before we get into the draft for Game 3. I'm going to go into the payouts for the Schmeckel of the last game, and then I'm going to hand it over to Zodiac.
Taking over your mic.
And Full Metal just for a couple of minutes. Yeah, I'm going to get a little choppy to you guys. It should be good for everybody at home. Just whenever I do payouts, I lose about 59 to 58 frames.
So if you're Lurkers here, I feel like what you need to do in this game is you have to pick something for your top laner, because you are going blue side again. You are taking your blue side. You have to pick something with your top laner to where he can survive and still be incredibly impactful. Like, I don't know if the Cho'Gath blind is necessarily exactly what you want, because Cho'Gath is just kind of gonna be forced to sit there and be like, well, I have to build these. I have to build the Heartsteel first because I need this stacking health, because that's where kind of my big champion is. The other thing is too, especially from this game going into game 3, I understand that the Yone pick as a melee AD assassin is good. The problem is you just kind of don't have any range to deal with like the Fiora. You can't play at a distance from her. She's constantly gonna be able to jump into you. So maybe if you play it, you could play like the Lucian mid, you could play like the Ezreal mid. Hell, you can maybe even play the Corki if that's something that you want. Something that allows you to maybe get some more scaling on your side.
Also, before I continue, thank you, Vader, bringing in the raid party of 7. Welcome everyone from Vader Use Choke. We're in game 3 now of LPP versus Lurkers. Intense game. Draft is going to start off soon. We're doing the buyouts now from last game's predictions. So if you haven't been here before, when the draft is over, we'll start up our round of predictions for game 3 here. And like you were saying, I mean, it's so tough for Lurkers to deal with the split push, and maybe Cho'Gath isn't the answer. I mean, game one it worked out because Cho'Gath was still able to get some eats down, and even that game, like Cho was able to get a little tanky, but it's just so tough, especially when LPP is just going to R5 these split pushing champs. It's tough to say whether or not Lurkers are going to look for something maybe a bit more like early game focused on their bot and mid side, or maybe they just need to focus on stopping a split push
Yeah.
and focus on team comps that are meant to stop the split push.
Yeah, LPP boys, kind of running back the same comp of Lurkers, maybe opting for a change. Just gotta answer some couple things in chat. Chase, I actually already gave you a caster compliment. Refer to game 2 draft. Sorry, get scammed. Not my fault. And then And then Alice, I will do my 10. Just give me 1 second to talk about some of this stuff. Kate Zareth, actually a much better bot lane. I do like this because it allows you to be a little bit more lane dominant and perma poke out the AD carry. Okay, you want another compliment? I mean, I don't know. Your Zeri jungle is better than like the Iron players I've seen in ranked solo queue. All right, there you go. There's your compliment.
That's a compliment, Lockett. That's all you got to give. You did a great job.
Yep,
Really
that's my
good
compliment.
compliment.
Boom, there you go. Your Zeri is better than Iron players. But boom.
Let's go. Just looking at the draft so far, this Nami has been picked every single game. It's going to be picked up again by LPP Boiz. I will also put out, Nami has lost every game it's been in.
That is very true. Although LPP does still have counter pick for top, and they haven't seen any bans from lurkers on the term of banning out these split pushers. So curious to see where lurkers go with these. They do have the Xerath now, which does a bit of a better job at dealing with the split pushers. Can kind of just cast all these spells far range and hopefully poke them out. So will be interesting to see where lurkers go. They know that LPP like to pick their top laner on R5 here. And they've already picked their mid laner. Could ban out ADCs, but I think they're just going to try and ban out as many split pushing top laners as they can.
Yeah, and Gwen is going to be banned away. LeBlanc is also banned from low PP, so just trying to ban away as many assassins. I would like actually to see the Yone ban again, just taken away here. Even though again the Ori matchup was fine for it, I do think with the Xerath it does kind of extend your damage profile. I'm actually banning Shogath here.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're saying you know what? Normally you just B4 Cho'Gath here as your safe pick. And it looks like a Jax ban. They might run it back with Fiora. It worked so well last game. I don't know if they blind it. Maybe
didn't
Lurkers
LPP
picks it,
have?
but I don't
Didn't
know.
LPP have the? I think LPP had the Fiora though. No, like Lurkers ran the Shogath.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Lurkers can know that they can just re-pick the Fiora here. I don't know if they are for the Fiora. I think realistically you just pick AD here. You're into Caitlyn.
Yeah,
Maybe Caitlyn Xerath, although Xerath can just go mid lane. So you already know you have Nami. It looks like it will just be a
Sivir.
Sivir, which could be really good. It's a really
Interest.
safe ADC pick. So if they want to play safe bot lane, have a safe mid lane on Orianna again, go a split pusher. I mean, Sivir's excellent for
Now,
that.
now I've been seeing this champion played a lot, a little bit actually in pro play, but a lot especially in other amateur leagues. And I wonder if we're okay. First off, throw down the Zyra, love it. But
Well, it seems like the Xerath will be mid
LPP,
lane.
depending on what could be played here, top lane for lurkers, could see an Olaf this game. You do have the Sivir speed ups, you do have the Nami enchanters, but it will be the Doc da Mundo for the lurkers.
Curious what they try and
I just want to
do. I
say,
mean,
I
obviously you
vibe.
don't want to go as CC champ, but I feel like you could just go Fiora still.
I vibe with Tiny Inter. I just got to let you know right now, I lose lanes a lot when I'm in the lanes, and I go down 55 to 160 CS by the end of the game. But man, do I play a tank and do I stand in front of my carries that are better than me. I like his Daniel Jones strategy. I like that he wants to get carried. It's also my strategy. And he's picked a big tank. It's going to be tough into Fiora. For sure. But
I mean, the only thing to know here, is that Daniel Jones can't throw, and Dr. Mundo does like to throw. So this could be interesting to see here. He may have been better off with something like a Rammus that just wants to run, or maybe even a Hecarim. So we'll be interesting to see how the Mundo goes. Might be a lot of miscues, but I still love to see it.
And maybe
at least now, like the only CC you have to worry about from Fiora is repost, and now repost is just useless.
Right. LPP boys are getting the majority of the Schmeckles. Bet on them to start this one. And guys, I will be right back, so take it on over.
All good. Yeah, so it looks like a lot of chat love to see that split push. Know that LPP could have cleaned out game one if they hadn't misplayed, especially, with the split push getting caught and those bad plays around the Zeri. So it looks like a lot of chat loves to see that Fiora and wants to root for it again. I am interested, it's interesting to see what happens here, because now, Fiora loses repost, because now even if she does repost on that Mundo early game, Mundo just kind of walks back over and grabs it while Fiora is stuck in the animation. So it'll be interesting to see how they do in this lane. maybe with the Wukong, they can look for this early pressure onto this Fiora and put the Fiora down early game. They did leave it up knowing that they wanted to take out the Jax instead. So could be interesting to see. I think LPP is kind of running the same comp as before. They have the Orianna, they have the Nami, they have the Sejuani. They switch over to the ADC, over to Sivir, much more safer pick, really good at wave clear. So I think LPP have kind of made their stance known on what kind of game they want to play. It's up to Lurkers to try and show that they can team fight with this Wukong.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is too here, especially with this Dr. Mundo. Again, it is still a scaling pick lane, but Dr. Mundo doesn't necessarily need to get all this health and all this stuff. He's just Dr. Mundo, dude. He's just gonna scale. He's just gonna get health. He's just gonna chill. But the biggest thing is too, especially with this Fiora pick, is again, there's nothing really Dr. Mundo. You don't get any inherently benefits from Dr. Mundo against this Fiora. And one thing I really would like to see Tiny Enter do this game, he didn't do it the first game into Fiora. I really would like to see him do it. Is instead of rushing like the big health items and trying to just stack health and do what the champion needs to do, rush like the Tabby's Bramble Vest and Tabby's Bramble Vest. Right? Because that actually makes it so hard for your early game to trade into you because she's constantly running into the attack reduction percentage from Ninja Tabbies and the grievous wounds from from Bramble Vest.
Yeah, I mean, especially with your rushing Ravenous, if your wants to again, it's so much value getting this Bramble Vest and cutting down her healing, cutting down, the healing from Nami, and just stopping this Fiora from taking over these side lanes. Because yeah, like even though you build the health, it just doesn't matter. Fiora just chunks you down with these with the I always forget that her passive, those the crit angles. But yeah, like Fiora will just cut you down, so it doesn't really matter about the healing. You just need the damage reduction. So I would also love to see the Wukong and see Lurkers try and force plays early. You have this Zyra Caitlyn bot lane, which is, as we saw last game with Caitlyn, loves to fight early and try and get an early lead. So maybe they can force some plays down in bot and mid and try and create an early lead on the other side of the map.
Exactly, and I also think the biggest thing is, especially with the comp that Lurkers have drafted, right? Like their comp is very much zone control. We want to control as much space as we can. You have Xerath, Kate, Zyra, three of the biggest. We are not letting you enter the zone champions in the game. On the other side, LPP has great abilities to start fights, right? You have the Seju R, you have Sivir ulti, you have Nami ulti. And if Orianna can somehow just like find a R, just rip an R in a fight, that's a great engage tool. So I feel like it's kind of two different ways to play the game. It's just a matter of who's going to win this early game.
For sure. I mean, again, like the issue with Yone into Ori early is that Oriana, they showed that Rayman can play the defensive, play the shields right, and stop the Yone from getting this early lead. But Xerath doesn't necessarily need kills early to do well. Xerath just needs to stay in lane, use the passive to keep the mana going, and just keep the pressure on the Oriana. Force Sejuani to come mid, force potentially the bot lane to come up and try and like relieve Oriana the constant poke. So I think this game, Lurkers just need to keep the mid pressure and try and convert that into dragons. Because, as we said before, we know that LPP are going to focus on these grubs, maybe on the dragons, but even so, like last game, Lurkers were still able to get most of the dragons. I think their issue is that, they know the dragons is their strong suit, but they're just not playing them that strong early game.
Exactly, and I think the other thing is too is they had a great strat with grubs. This game, like making sure, hey, we get as many grubs as we can. Hey, let's deny the 6 grubs. But what's most important is what you gave up for those 6 grubs. You gave up kind of all this kind of tempo, like, hey, we have to play for grubs. So therefore, Ori just got to sit bot and just get this massive CS lead over Yone and kind of put ourselves in a point to where, hey, my game is now stabilized.
Yeah. I mean, it's so tough because both teams love playing early, but it seems like LPP is doing a good job at saying, you know what, if we just play safe and play for the long game, we win the long game not through scaling but through splitting. So I feel like Lurkers is kind of forced on the side of like we have to play early game. We have to play for these early objectives, these early drags. And the second that they choose not to, it becomes as like 50-50 of okay, can we ace them before this Fiora just ends the game?
For sure. And I mean, right now, as we're loading into the game, gotta do the quick skin check. We do have the best Xerath skin, Lava Xerath, my favorite Xerath skin in the game. And Headhunter Caitlyn, so like kind of like two goated skins on one team.
Yeah.
So like it's like a
I like
it's like a
Orbiana.
49 and a half. Orbiana is good, but it's like in my opinion, it's like a
I think it
49
matters on
and
the
a half.
chroma. Orbiana matters on the chroma
I
because
appreciate
that's
that
where
both top
Orbiana's
laners
power comes
refuse to
from.
go skin. They're like, no,
I love that.
we're top
I think
laners
top
and
lane
we
is an
play
excellent
our
lane to do
normal
that.
champs. We're playing our
Yeah,
normal
we're just
champs.
normal champs. We're normal skins.
Alright.
We don't care about your
My commercial
skins.
mid laner is saying E-Boy Xerath is better, but like Xerath with face is just like
Yeah, Xerath shouldn't have a face. I feel like
Xerath
Xerath
has
is
no Lava
yeah.
Xerath goaded. Lava Xerath is fucking goaded. Best skin in the fucking game.
I
That's not
will say when I started playing League of Legends and really got into it, I loved the project skin. There used to be a project game mode when
yes.
Project got season 2, I think, when it was the second release of Project, they made a game mode.
Okay.
That was my favorite skin line by far. So I love seeing Project Sejuani because it's such an old skin line that seeing it used now just brings back old memories.
Dude, unironically though, like okay, I have to ask the peanut gallery at large, right?
Fire off.
So like what do you feel is the best skin in the game? Because like I have my opinion on the
The
best
best
skin in the game.
skin in the game?
The best skin in the okay, well, I have been unable to download the spectator data.
So
I have
have
now been kicked out
I.
of the game.
I've also been
I
kicked
I
out
am
of the game.
also attempting to reconnect. We're gonna hope we're gonna cross our fingers and hope, but we're gonna continue talking about these skins. Of all time,
I have my two picks. My
Okay.
two picks for best skins in the game ever are Cosmic Reaver Cassidon and Eternum Nocturne.
Okay.
mine is I'm gonna agree with Chad here with Loki and Live. I hope I'm saying or Lachlan Live. I think Elemental's Lux is just by far the best skin. Granted, I am biased. Lux is my most played champion, and I think that is like the one ultimate skin that just kind of destroys the rest. It's just 11. It's like what 11 skins in one. Like you don't beat that. Plus, it works with a ward. Elementalist Lux has a ward that also changes on the skin.
See,
So you just can't.
I have
You
a
just can't
way
beat it.
hotter take than that, but I also want to let Billy Boyer know first off, welcome, first timer chatter, what's going on? Also, your name is great. Also, we might not be able to connect to this third game, so we might not even be ready for the smoky for
We're gonna need a drawing tool. We'll just draw this game out.
We can draw the game and let people know what we think might be happening.
so like
For sure, for
like,
sure.
in my opinion, right? Like when it comes to like best skin in the game, my whole thing is like, okay, all the effects, everything you get with it, but also the value of the skin, right? So like if I'm spending like however much the ultimate skin versus like a $10 skin,
For
right?
sure.
So like that's why I feel like Cosmic River casting because you get it's just the cleanest sounding effects, the cleanest
Another
sounding
friend.
voice effects,
Thanks,
right?
Billy
And
Boyer.
all this like clean stuff. I'm only spending $10 on it.
That's fair.
All
That's
right,
fair.
I have the hottest take. I
Okay.
got an array of skins that I think might be the best of all time. Okay, so maybe you can help me flesh it out. I did get in the
Oh,
game, by
I
the
am
way. I'm at
in
2
game, by the
seconds.
way.
3 seconds.
The
There's an
game has
immediate
been
pause.
paused.
That's why we weren't able to get
Jungle
it initially.
has got. Oh, that might explain things. The
Yeah.
jungle got Vanguarded DC, so maybe that's why. Is because they may have paused the instant the game started. Looks like 3 seconds in,
Yep.
and Riot couldn't find 30 seconds to let us in.
So, hot take. Pool party Zach. All right.
That's a good skin.
It's
Pool Party Zach
clean.
is good.
It makes sense. It's very minimal work for them to
Okay.
do. I'm not
They have
confused by
unpaused the
what
game.
spell
I'm
he's
pausing
casting.
at 10 seconds.
I'm also
Okay,
paused at 10
same.
seconds.
Okay.
All right, I'm roll at 10.
I can't
Oh, pause after pause.
I can't
Pause
play.
after
It's a pause, post pause. I can't play the game when they release new skins because my eyes don't work anymore. So like they'll see new things flying at. Like I don't even know what Hui does, but when he shoots different beams of light at me, if that man gets a skin, I'll never know what's happening. It's the same thing with any other champ. With Zac skins, I know every time what spell he's casting. I'm aware that that is his Q. I'm aware that his W. He just like does a little pop animation and he jumps at you with his Z. I need skins that don't
I've gotten to
change
25
those
seconds.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
at
at
25
25 seconds. I'm playing. I will let you know when I get there. I just got out my post. Pause.
Okay, I'm gonna go to 24 seconds and pause.
Yeah, I'm at 25.
Yeah, I'm
Come
at
on.
20 right now, so I'm going to count you down from 23, 24, 25.
25.
Cool.
To Summoner's
Cool.
Rift.
But so like my thing with at least Eternal Nocturne though, because I feel like I need to explain this one. 'Cause, like Eternal Nocturne is like, yeah, it's one of his best skins, but people don't ever
30
consider that
seconds
the
until
best skin in the
minions
game.
spawn.
I fully believe that should be his base skin. Like
Well, we
I
got
just think
someone in
Eternal
chat that
Noc-
doesn't know anything about League of Legends, so let's talk about what is something you know about Billy Boyer. Do you know about food? Can we talk about food with you?
Yeah, like
Do you,
I
do
feel
you
like-
know anything about do you know anything about
Do you know anything
about
about
our
anything?
favorite football player?
What can we talk
Wait,
about?
we have a favorite football player here on cast
You know
here.
anything about Daniel
we do have
Jones?
a favorite football. Yeah, do you know anything about Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones is in this game right now. He is donned the name Tiny Incher.
Yeah, he's up in the top.
So
What's the general objective? Capture the flag? Kill the flag. It's more of a kill the flag game. I love that you're asking questions about the game, but I really need to know what
Kill
things you
the
know about. So I
flag.
can. I'm just drafted him in fantasy.
how do you
I'm
kill
dying.
a flag?
What?
Do
No!
you
I'm
yeah.
dying. I'm
See,
dying.
pickle hater. See, he's not that bad of a pig. I don't know why everyone's hating on me.
Okay.
Just go pick him second.
So Billy Boyer, you're gonna want to put all your smeckles, all your money on Tiny Incher here. Tiny Incher is our Daniel
Oh, he's a
Jones
little
of this
PP
game.
fanboy. He loves little PP. He wants him to beat up Daniel Jones.
His name is Danny.
Because he's a 10. Bro, big improve.
So basically, like we were saying, it's like destroy the flag, where the flag is the nexus. You have 3 major towers in each lane, top, middle, and bottom. You have a jungle in between the 3 lanes. So you have 1 person top lane, 1 person in the jungle in between. You have 1 person mid, and then you have 2 people bot lane. The reason is because you have an ADC or APC some games where normally they're a glass cannon, if you will. And the whole objective is to defeat their nexus. It doesn't matter if you have 5 kills, doesn't matter if you have 50. As long as you defeat their nexus, you win the game.
All right,
And
I got
now
a
we
good
are
analogy to
1-1.
capture the flag. All right.
Yeah,
Don't
go
think
for
of
it.
these as
Yeah,
towers. Think about
destroy
these guys as
destroy the flag.
these
Destroy
are
the
mean
flag.
guys that puppy guard. I'm gonna zoom into one so you can see it. You see this mean puppy guarder? Okay, that guy's a mean puppy guarder. We're gonna refer to them as that for the remainder of this game, just for you, Billy Boyer.
Who is this? Who's the puppy guarder?
The towers. The towers.
Okay.
They puppy guard areas. You can't get past them until you kill the puppy guard. It's a very violent game of capture the flag.
It's a very violent game of capture the flag where once you get the flag, you
Age
just
of
need to
Empires
you just need to destroy.
2? Okay, we gotta put it in
What
terms of age.
the
No, I got this.
fuck?
Okay, listen to me very clearly. First off, there's people fighting. These are like your normal soldiers. Back here, this is your barracks, because your barracks you could purchase more units. That's your barracks right there. It gets you stronger, gets you bigger. These little, you see these little guys they're shooting on the ground that aren't like the full-size ones? That is your resources that you're mining or farming because you're trying
I
to
thought
get...
that'd be your. Would that be your infantry?
Oh, fuck. Oh, god
I
damn,
don't
I
know
don't
Age
know.
of Empires. I don't
I
know how
haven't
this
played
works.
Age of Empires recently enough. Those
Dude,
are your
I don't
resources to
fucking
buy
know.
more villagers. Fuck, how do you
Okay,
play this
okay.
game?
Villagers. We
I
talking
don't
about
remember.
classic wins now?
I don't remember how to play Age of Empires 2. It's been too many years.
See, Drosos MJ, that is Nexus Blitz. That's Age of Empires 3, where
Oh,
they spawn-
true. It's where like past a certain. It's like in Civ. It's like in
Whoa,
Civilization.
look at
like,
look at LPP going for the invade here. It looks like they're going to try and take their empire from their base themselves.
Oh, nice bubble actually bot lane. See, I feel like we're like talking about the game
Oh,
like
shit.
distracting from the real matters of like, okay, how many like cross references to League of Legends can we make in like no game?
I'm gonna explain the entire game of League of
just
Legends
love
in
the fact
terms
that
of
this
Daniel
is destroy
Jones.
the flag.
I'm gonna.
This
Okay.
is Daniel Jones
Okay,
and destroy
I
the
can do-
flag here.
I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, okay.
Wait, hang on, there's a fight up
Daniel-
top in the top lane. Daniel Jones getting hit up right now, and he is going to get taken down. First blood going over to Sauce, and Tiny gonna immediately respond. 2 junglers picking up kills.
Although Daniel Jones had a lot of defensive linemen there, it just wasn't enough, right? Like even if you have the greatest line in front of you, you just can't stop the blitz sometimes.
Yeah, Daniel Jones really needed the Giants to draft Trent Williams there, but instead he got Evan Neal.
Yeah.
And to block for him.
That
That's
was
a
a-
real football reference. All my real football fans will get that one.
So Droso MJ, the monks who converted enemies, they had to remove that. So that was, you had to run a specific person called Mordekaiser who would take the things that you killed and made them yourselves. You can kind of do it with Lissandra where you can kind of convert them, but Lissandra isn't as spiritual as Mordekaiser was. So sadly, it's not on either team, so there's no controlling enemies here.
My top laner on my commercial team brings up an excellent point. The Eagles just sacked Daniel Jones because he was in the pocket for too long.
That's what
Makes
happened.
sense.
Yeah, he wasn't laying those throws. I mean, we
Yeah, he just
we knew that Daniel
he
Jones is more of a runner.
This receiver on the comeback route there on 3rd and 10, and he got sacked for it.
Sniper.
This is so stupid, guys. Can I please drop this bit?
You know what's crazy? We have to do this the rest of the season, not just the rest of this game.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
So like if he gets like an all-star vote, we're just calling him Daniel Jones.
Yeah, we
right?
just
we're
call
not
him
like adding him.
In
We're
fact,
not like adding
the
him
weird
in
thing
the
is,
content channel.
I've already edited the All-Star like captain's pick'ems form, and
Oh,
I've
you're doing
removed
Daniel
the name
Jones
Tiny
now.
Inter. I've put in the name Daniel Jones already, so there won't even
Yeah,
be an
I've
option to pick.
also I've gone into databases for the roster and we've already forced the
Changed
name
it.
change. So
Daniel Jones.
Tiny Inter might need to name
When you
change
click
his
on his
summers.
name, instead
Tiny
of
can
pulling
be
up the
trouble.
op.gg, you pull up the Wikipedia page with a football reference for Daniel Jones.
That'd be so funny. Tiny in a lot of trouble though right now.
It
Is
looks like
Sauce
Sauce
going
will
all
look
the
to
way
invade
in on
again.
him. Sejuani finding a lot of damage, was able to take away the Gromp as well.
Yeah, Sniper Boy and Sauce have been
Uh-oh.
doing a really good job of just holding this top jungle here. So it's working really well for them. You know, although, you know, jokes aside, it has been a 1-for-1 on both junglers getting the kills. So LPP will be curious to see how they convert that with the Sejuani.
Yeah, interesting. Good thing to note here too. The Mundo did opt for that first
Shockwave.
item. Ramble here. Shockwave is going to be used here. Xanax Rain takes a decent bit of trunk kill, but Tiny Inter does opt for that Bramble Vest. So getting himself more survivability in this lane. Again, just trying to scale, trying to get to a point where he is okay. But the Grand Challenge is going to be used here.
Might be able to pick up a kill, and just one more does proc it. Everybody is healing like crazy though as Inter procs their ultimate as well, and no one goes down up at the top lane.
Looks like Sauce might look here. Sauce does have ultimate, might look, but it's so tough because you're into a Mundo. Like, Mundo just doesn't let Sejuani really do what he wants to do here.
Pork Buns had some fun roasting the Rain Man right there as he rained down on him with the ultimate.
Yeah, Pork Buns with a great 1v1 kill there. Actually, the melee range ultimate here. But this is what you do. Sauce, so patient in here. Not going to practice CC, though.
Nice flash away to stay alive, trying to heal up. Doesn't really want to go right back in. Doesn't hit the Q, though. Tiny Inter just looking for a hit, can't get it. And Sejuani is going to pick up their second kill of the game. It stays 2-2.
Yeah, saves his flash, though. So if a rigging happens, we'll have that available to him. Just so close to finding Sniper Boy on that play. Does force out that Fiora flash. They will get this wave shove. Will be able to bounce now in favor of Sniper Boy.
Tiny Inter does have the TP, so can stop any plate takes. Sniper Boy looking to just push that in, get it back here. And yeah, I mean, Sauce is just repeatedly ganking top lane, wants to get this Fiora ahead, but it looks like, you know, with the way that the fights are going, Sauce has to collect these kills. So it means that Sniper Boy won't really get as big of a lead as they would hope, at least last game. And needs a lot of this gold that's going to go over to Sejuani. Sejuani's already going to have Zeke's. So maybe Sejuani starts focusing pressure down the bot lane and mid lane.
So to answer a question in chat from Billy Boyer, so when you get a kill, your big resource in this game is gold, right? The more gold you have means the more items you can buy, which means the stronger you become, right? So when you kill someone, it means that you get 300 gold from killing them, which matters because your items are so expensive. Because each of these little minions that you kill are worth not a large amount of gold, but still worth a decent amount of gold.
Right, essentially
kill.
every kill on a big player gives you an earlier pick in next year's draft. Is that what you're trying? That's what you're trying to tell him, right?
Well, I would.
It means that you get better units in Age of Empires too.
Yeah.
So more bigger kills means you get to upgrade your barracks
has to
faster
drop
while
that
killing the
barrier,
smaller ones.
trying to run away, trying to get away from everybody right now, but does look like they're finally going to get taken down as Amaristic now running for those, was able to lock up 2 in place to pick up 1
Good
kill
ult
as
by
they're
Zara.
bombing in those ultimates from afar, and Tiny is now here, just trying to pick up a kill, can't grab that one though, gets CC'd underneath tower, and will get taken out in the end as Sejuani picks up their 3rd kill of the game. They're still trying to pepper in more damage, but can't find any as it actually wraps back around and turns into a 2-for-1.
Yeah, Lurkers doing an excellent job. Last game they kind of played a little slow. You know, they gave a lot of grubs. Yes, they traded for 3 eventually, but they were losing so much top lane and weren't getting enough bot lane. But now they're looking at all these fights. They're at this 2-0-1 now, and Wukong is 1-for-1. They're getting early gold, which means that they can force the fights a little sooner and hopefully try and make some big plays before this Fury gets out of hand.
Yeah, but on the other side of the map, you do have the Seju already finishing that Zeke, so really kind of accelerated herself in this game. Again, Zeke's such a gold efficient item on this Sejuani here. Meanwhile, again, you look at this Wukong, he's at all the components for Eclipse, but doesn't have it just yet. So right now, Sauce is in a position to where he can just kind of like dictate the pace of this game. He has his finger on the pulse of what the Lurkers want to do. So what
if those 2 backs go off, I think LPP just forced the Baron. It looks like Tiny's gonna opt to stay here, but I think LPP still get the still get the grubs here. Rose wants to look here, but Rose doesn't have ult until these grubs will fall. So I think the grubs will just go over to the side of LPP. Also, Billy Boyer, glad we can help you with the explanations. If you have any questions, we're more than happy to help you, whether it's references to our lovely Age of Empires 2. It looks like they will look for LPP for the Rayman. They get out safely.
Use of the ultimates right here. It's Amaristic's gonna get stunned up, but he's able to drop a lot of damage onto them. Here comes Tiny into the fight as well. The challenge is able to heal them all the way through that damage, and they stay alive. It's a 2-for-0 right now as little PP Boiz showing up big in these fights.
Yeah, and a great movement there from Sniper Boy, able to dodge out on the rest of the Zarazars. And again, that's another kill going over to Sauce. He is 4-0-2 now, feeling really good about himself in this game.
Yeah, and flashbacks to game 1. This is 6 grubs again. Yes, the Fiora doesn't have that big of a lead, and yes, you have the early Bramble on the Mundo, which is huge. But this is a 6 grub Fiora on a Ravenous Hydra.
Yeah.
If you thought the Fiora pushed fast last game, this is 3 more grubs. And Billy Boyer, in case you don't know about the grubs, the more grubs you have, once you get to 5 and 6 grubs, you actually spawn these little tiny softer minions with you whenever you hit these the turrets, the little protector guys. So now Fiora can kind of push these side lanes without the need of the rest of her team.
Yeah, to put it into terms of football, though, hang on, let's hang on that 1 second. As Nugs is going to turn it on attention. And put it in terms of football, it's like every time you get a first down, you get 2 little children that also are armed up and ready to play for you. That's kind of...
Yeah, you just get more offensive linemen to protect your QB. And
roast pork.
It looks like Roast Pork is just like, you know what? We don't need to make plays. We can just run a oh, what's it called when they do the side lane play? I don't know football enough.
I don't know football enough. Oh, fuck, what are the words? Every first down you get more Daniel Jones. Basically, yeah. That's what we're saying.
Right now, Daniel Jones has a defensive lineman in his backfield, but Daniel Jones able to hold off. We'll lose some yards, but we'll hold off pretty well.
Amaristic running for the hill is going to have to drop that ultimate to try to stay alive. Tiny is now here, just trying to block for her. The tidal wave does come out, is going to find some CC onto her, as they have all 4 here trying to take down this Wukong. He drops the Cyclone. It's not going to be in time or matter. Good walking from Nugs not to hit that trap right there, but the ultimate coming out right now is going to use the barrier to stay alive. Good play from little PP Boiz all around.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
forcing plays around it. It looks like they might even try and dive tension. If they can find it with this
Yeah.
adjoining. Oh, that is a dead Caitlyn. That might be turret, because yeah, you don't have your split pusher, but 4 members with 6 grubs, that turret is down.
Yeah,
and now this
right-
means that they can even look for Dragon.
And right now, the win con right now isn't even just, hey, we have that heavy split push. We have the ability, you know, just, hey, let's just wait for this Fiora to kind of win the game for us, or, you know, the Gwen in this instance. But right now, like, they're making plays on their own. They're making these 4-man dive spot
Yeah.
everywhere on the map. And once you get to this state where you're able to kind of make plays everywhere else, but also have this winning topside, Sniper Boy actually might be in trouble here.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness, Daniel Jones gonna get the shutdown on the Sniper Boy.
Yeah, Daniel Jones showing that, you know what, yeah, most of the time I do run the ball, but I can throw. It might not be far, but Daniel Jones throws just far enough for those 1 or 2 yards where eventually he does get the first down.
That
He gets
play
the
was
first kill on
equivalent
Fiora.
that play was equivalent to Daniel Jones like running up to like Aaron Donald or someone like that and just like playing.
Oh, looks like a fight around Dragon, maybe.
But
They
it's
do
not gonna
catch
matter
up the
though.
Nami.
Zany Granny gets taken down.
This might convert into a Dragon, which is really what Lurkers need here. They've been put down time and time again by this Sejuani that's ahead, and this Sivir getting early pressure onto the Caitlyn. But now with this Dragon and letting Tension get a lot of this solo XP and solo gold, it means that they're able to push back and they're able to fight against this, you know, LPP lead that they've had. So yes, the Dragon will give them some gold, will push back the gold lead down from 3k to maybe like 2k, 2.5k gold lead maybe. But it does mean that Sejuani is going to be able to pick up these this Rift Herald, and if they're able to get this, they can just open the map for Fiora.
Yeah, you can open up this top lane for Fiora, but I feel like Fiora's gonna grab that on her own. I feel like you would want to take this mid lane turret away from the Xerath here.
Nice.
Sniper Boy is looking in on Tiny Inter here.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop that ultimate as
Yeah,
well.
you
And
do
probably
have
should be able to finish
Amarist
it off
looking,
right
and you
now.
have Zerafult.
Good Xerath ult just to keep him safe for a little bit longer. Amarystic still waiting,
Getting the
trying
back
to
two.
wait to show. Might choose to go in right now, right after the Q is used. Grab her, lock her up, and make sure Daniel Jones can pick up the kill. But on the backside too, they're able to grab the Herald.
Yeah, they get the Herald, and it's a moment again where Sniper Boy is getting picked out for going a little too far. This time, Sniper Boy does get the turret, so
Yeah.
it's not all for naught. They do get the turret, and they do get the Rift Herald, and Sivir's able to push out safely bot lane, not having to worry about anyone collapsing on her. So it is a good pickup for Lurkers, but it's not without losing something along the
Yeah,
lines.
right now though, if you're Sauce here, I feel like you absolutely must crack this mid lane turret open. The strongest point of Xerath is when he's able to put his butt to his turret and just constantly sit there, and if you try and lock him in CG, he can just sit there and poke you from such a long range to where you can't ever siege against him. Well, if you use the Rift Herald and crack it open, especially with 6 scrubs, that means Xerath now has less control around the map. He's not able to kind of affect these fights as you know, as effectively as he normally would be able to.
Yep.
So I'd love to see Sauce to bring this Herald mid lane.
Oh, Zany Granny coming
Yeah.
to try to help with this fight up here. Sniper Boy's going to drop that Grand Challenge again onto Tiny Inter. And Daniel Jones this time does not have anybody to help him, but he does. He's actually able to block some CC right
Yes,
there. The flash forward's necessary. Here comes the tidal
But he goes
wave. It's
tidal wave.
not going to hit. Tsunami's not going to hit. Tiny Inter's going to walk out. Can he get all the way? He can turn it down.
This might be a turn. They may be able to get Zany 2 here. Oh,
Ooh, nice
Zany,
dodge.
good bubble, forces them to walk away. Might be a little
Michael
too
getting
far.
dropped right now on a
Forces
Rain
Ramirez.
Man. Teleport coming in as well, and it's gonna probably be enough because the flash didn't get her over the wall, and Tiny picks up their second kill of the fight. And to answer your question, Billy Boyer, who do we think is gonna win? This is one of the closest series I've ever watched in the LBLCS, especially this season.
Oh, but he gets a great engage from Sauce here, and Nugs able to pick it up on Tension. And I was just about to comment here. Right now, LPP's stifling discipline just isn't there, right? They're not being disciplined with where they can be in the silence. The
Good
Zyro
flash.
Laser being dropped down here.
Oh, they missed the tower.
Oh, they missed the they
That's huge,
missed the
actually.
charge.
That's
That is
massive.
That's massive. They need to take the
Amherst
tower
has
down.
to kill the
might
Herald
be
here.
cold here now. Without the charge, they can't really kill this turret. Yes, they have 6 voids.
Oh, they can
Oh,
kill
But
the
yeah,
now
turret
they're
here. Yes.
losing Rift. But they won't get a second charge now, I don't think.
Oh, Zyra
Sauce
needs
may
to
be
stop it.
getting
Zyra
it.
needs
He's
to hit
not
it with
doing enough
something.
damage.
Can't get it
Oh,
with this.
not at
Oh,
all.
now he's dead.
Yeah, but now you have Perkins and Tiny behind Sejuani. Maybe they can
flash,
get it, but
though.
Zany's here too. That's out. You don't get the charge off, but you do get the turret, which does open up and make these areas a little bit more riskier to go for these pokes.
Thank you,
So
Zeppelin.
it looks good.
He missed the field goal. That is exactly what happened on that play. He missed the field. He missed the extra point, really. They ended up getting it.
As
end,
as Tyler Fortnite Ninja Blevins would say, bro, how do you even miss a field goal? All your job is to do is kick it.
Yeah. Also, Billy, the dragons do look cool. So we've gotten 2 drags down so far. How it works that there's a bunch of different dragons. The first 2 are always different than what it will be for the rest of the game. So we've gotten the mountain dragon and we've gotten the hex tech. It looks like for the rest of the game it will be infernal if I'm seeing that correctly.
Yep.
So now that the last dragon is set, all of the dragons will always be infernal until infernal soul has been taken, which is 4 dragons. So once you get 4 dragons, you get the soul of whatever the last dragon is, and the map also changes. So you'll notice a little bit around the map that some of the terrain may be different, and you're going to see these little souls that they can pick up. You're going to see the little like flame fragments. That's going to give whoever picks that up a little bit of ability haste. But what happens is that the more they get, the better it'll be. But when they die, they also drop a lot of them down. So whoever kills them can go ahead and pick those up and get those buffs for themselves.
Transfer of power as they are setting up that Drake timer up in the top left-hand corners, letting you know when the next one is spawning. They've got 12 seconds on it right now. Try to get in position, and it always spawns in the same exact pit where everybody is converging. Sniper Boy here trying to defend some wards, but now Mikey getting caught out as 5 people have arrived earlier for the side of Lurkers. Trying to do some damage right there. Has to use barrier right there, trying to get away from the cyclone. They can't. That's going to be a kill for Caitlyn. Sniper Boy on the back end trying to do a little bit of damage to Anger, but over here the Shockwave's going to do so much, and Zyra looking to do the damage as well. Sauce in there so deep, trying to tank for the whole team, but only 2 of them are left other than him. Can they run this out? A 2-for-1 so far, and Daniel Jones just being a menace. He somehow learned to throw in the offseason.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones finding out that he, in fact, does have receivers on his pro football team. But what looked like a great moment there from the Rain Man was kind of just sullied because Count Nugs used his spell shield on. I'm not exactly sure what he used it on, but they were able to see, hey, she has no spell shield. She's dead because she has no flash.
Yep.
Yeah. Lurkers are doing an excellent job where usually Tension is the one to get a lot of their gold and a lot of their lead. But this game, it's all been on Roast, who had an unfortunate game last game on the Yon where he just couldn't hold the Fiora. But now on the Xerath, Xerath is just punching damage left and right. He's killing this Orianna, who they had problems killing last game. And now they're able to punch enough damage through where they're able to confirm these dragons. And like we said last game, their last 2 games they had trouble kind of getting all these dragons, but now they're looking at Infernal Soul already 22 minutes into the game. All they have to do is stop the LPP from getting this Baron and wait for that dragon.
Oh my goodness. The damage coming out of Roast Pork Buns is totally crazy. He's going to drop more of it onto Sniper Boy right now. Can he hit any of it?
Tiny Inter just doesn't care at this point.
He's a big
Sorry,
boy.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
LPP is putting a lot of pressure here and like trying to kind of hold the map here. They're not really splitting with this Fjord, and this time they have the 6
Causing
voids,
a lot of trouble.
but they're forcing these team fights.
And the game is turning on its head as soon as you get past that 20-minute mark. It's a big shockwave, but it's not going to be enough in the end as Nugs actually gets grabbed right there. They are going to peel off of the Baron for a moment.
I don't know if they can realistically look back at it, because like, yeah, Tension has a lot of HP, but Amoristic is just dying to this Baron. Tiny is low. Pork Buns is kind of low. Inter will heal back up from I'm sorry,
Porks are just like mess with
Warmogs. So
Oh,
they
you
do
have
have
PvP
health
from
back,
Fiora.
but you've got a couple of squishy members here. It's gonna be tough for Lurkers to stay alive here.
There's
Maybe they can
no
get it
smite
before.
to take it, but a tidal wave is going down. Rayman tried to go for it, but it is still going to be smited away by Tiny, and the rest of the fight, I think, is going to be a handshake and a walk away right now.
Yeah, LPP just lacked the ability to go in without Sejuani. You can't really smite battle it, and you don't really have anything in. How your lashes. What?
Everybody turned to a little robot for me right there, so I was a little confused what was going down. Meat
Meat
mort,
mort.
meat mort, meat mort.
Me more, me.
Meat mort.
Okay, there we go.
Meat mort.
Meat mort.
So
Okay.
Bill Boyer, regarding flanking is something that is done a lot in League of Legends. Normally we refer to it as ganks, and usually it's when a jungler who doesn't really belong to a lane will go behind a solo laner or bot lane and do what we call ganking the lane. It's essentially just the same thing as flanking, if you will. Sometimes people will even flank or gank their own lane if someone else is already there. So yes, it doesn't really happen that much late games. You will see some teams, especially in pro
Teleports,
play, that will
maybe.
look for things with like a Zir or certain characters where they can do it late game, but a lot of it happens earlier on.
Tiny injury is so big now. He does have to be careful though. 2 people showed up. They're gonna hold him in place and chop him down with that sword.
Yeah,
Nice,
what's
isn't
most
it?
important though is Ding Bop Bop put it best. Flank is much more of a stake thing though, so like,
Uh-oh. Rain Man,
goodbye, Red Man.
I think you're gonna die right here, and you are, but maybe a big cost for tension. You're gonna have to flash away from this fight as everybody is going in. Tiny trying to find the Cyclone is gonna grab it onto Nugs, and Nugs will go down in the end. Tension now pushing back, and they're gonna be looking for more, finding a lot of damage. There goes the Nami down. Sauce now could go down, but is able to escape all the way back underneath towers to safety. Just her and Fiora up as these guys march down the middle.
Yeah, Fiora's forced it back there, and I mean, they have these 6 grubs, but I feel like they're just not really utilizing the split power that Fiora has. They keep having Fiora be at these team fights or backing to protect the base, but if they can let Sniper, convert that kill into a split push top lane and just not fight, it'll lead to them getting kind of the map pressure that we're used to seeing from Game 1 and Game 2. But they've been calling Fiora more and more over to these fights, especially with that tanky Sejuani. But, your Orianna is behind this game, and Silver's just not able to really punch through the team like you'd hope. So I'm interested to see what they're going to be able to do with that early goal lead that they've now lost.
I just think the thing is, especially with calling Fiora, is right now if you're like, if we just remove the top laners from this game, right? Let's say they're both just like doing their
Top
top
laners or something, yeah.
Right, stuff like that. So if they're doing that, right, if you have Wukong, Xerath, Kate, Zyra versus Seju, Ori, Sivir, Nami, you are going to lose that every time because you just can't, you just lack the range.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
you-
can't
You
get
can't get into Zyra,
100%.
Kate, Xerath.
100%, but also you focus so many resources onto these 6 grubs, but they haven't really gone to
Need
hit
the
a turn in a
sauce
while.
ball delivery system. Here comes the
Here
comes
Tidal
Tidal
Wave.
Wave.
There goes the ultimate, and now they're looking
comes
for
through.
it. Can they grab it? A big shockwave. Can it be set up on a nice cyclone onto the backline? Means that everybody is taking damage back there, and Xerath doing so much damage. He's gonna drop the ultimate, gonna find 2 kills. Case gonna pick up one of them. Nugs now gonna go down as well as Zanny, Granny, and Sniper Boy are running for the hills. And 8-0 and 8 Xerath just pumping out so much damage in these fights, and they're gonna pick up Soul.
Yeah,
They do
Tiny.
so well finding the carries on Lurkers, but they have such a hard time killing them. And Sniper Boy just unable to solo kill Tiny Inter like they're used to where they use all these resources to try and punch a hole, but they just can't get a kill.
Yeah, and right, like I so much credit goes to Tiny in that fight because Roseborg Bunch is getting ran at by everyone.
Yep.
Hey, we got the Xerath, we have the big guy with the shutdown, but Tiny from over the wall with a huge knockup doesn't end up really like killing anyone or setting up an engage, but just peeling the Xerath, keeping the backline away from him.
Yeah, massive cyclone.
That's gonna lead to an inhibitor falling.
Zodiac, if you're on the
find the
side of little
clone,
PP
but-
boys, you're nervous about how this game is going. How do you try to remedy the situation? Is a catch right here going to be enough?
That's a great start. I mean, that's an amazing start. You can
And that's all on the
1,000
Fiora
gold
too. That's
Fiora.
1,000 gold onto Fiora. Looks like Sauce wants to keep looking. They know Xerath is down. They're saying, hey, if we're going to fight the rest of the squad, now is the time. I think Sniper Boy just needs to split. Remember, they have these 6 grubs. That is 1 auto from Fiora.
Yeah, and Fiora can absolutely just walk down there and grab it, but here comes Tiny Inter. So much credit needs to go to Daniel Jones in this game. Just, sticking it out behind his offensive line, making it work with the receivers that he has here. Just really quarterbacking his team to victory.
Yeah, he can't throw very far, but he is making those throws count.
can't believe this is a thing right now, guys. I can't fucking believe it.
It's like we haven't even gone Hunkler. It's
The Daniel Jones of the game.
The Daniel Jones alert!
It's
Daniel Jones alert!
Elder Dragon is still on the
Holy
table. If there is a fight to win, it is the one directly before Elder Dragon spawns. Flash away from Amarysca is going to keep her alive.
Maybe they refined. Looks like they won't try and use too much. They're gonna force the TP from Orianna to try and keep this mid lane shoved. They have to try and repeat what they did last time and
my
find a good ult onto the Xerath. Xerath unable to find any hits on the ult besides the first hit.
Yeah, that's actually huge though. That's a huge cooldown being used. Here comes Dr. Mundo coming in with the TP, maybe forced away from control here. Tiny Inter is gonna lose that passive, but we'll just instantly get it back here.
Yeah, finds the ground. They're forcing LPP apart. This, Lurkers are one big group, and LPP is kind of been forced aside. They're catching mid lane. Lurkers know they can't really start this Baron. Maybe they do anyway. LPP are gonna know that they're
Sauce
on
is
this. They're gonna
tanky.
try and force pressure back. So
Sauce
they're burning
has
it fast.
Flash. Sauce has Q. Sauce could look to try to go in
The
right now.
Alpha Zara plans
He
here.
is going to go
Sauce has
in. He's
now.
trying to drop that ultimate right there. He's going all the way in there trying to burn it down before he ends up out of
He's
there. So
smoking
close.
through
He
field.
does smite steal.
got
He
it.
takes it down. Sauce going to keep them alive in this game right now. The rest of the fight is going down like crazy though. Inter just absolutely
Daniel Jones
fighting
won.
for them. They're going to get over the wall and pick up another one. It's a 2-for-1 right now as Sniper Boy running for the hill is going to take a massive ultimate to the dome and get sniped away
Beautiful
himself.
snipe I post. Pork Buns might have found the snipe that they needed. They can push mid lane. There's no inhib
Oh,
there.
shit.
I'm curious to see if they can hold. Gray might die here for the
The dodging?
Wukong.
No, it's an
Oh,
artillery
beautiful ults.
showcase.
I think this is
All of
game
them
here.
land.
This is just game.
That might be enough. You have 15 seconds until Sejuani's up. I don't think Rayman can hold alone as Orianna. This might just be game.
No, Rain Man can't hold alone, and unfortunately, little PP boys get taken down, and Lurkers take it in a valiant 3-game series.
Beautifully played by both games. I think Lurkers show that they can hold against these split pushers, can find the picks they need, can hold off top lane just enough to make it worthwhile. I mean, Tiny Inter, yes, they lose the early game against these split pushers, but do so well at bouncing back and making it known that, yes, although they take this early deficit, they're able to tank and frontline just enough to let, Rose Pork Buns and Tension and even Tiny kind of play the fights that they want.
Yeah, I'm a big little
Yeah.
PP boys fan. I'm a big now Tiny Inter fan as well on the side of Lurkers. I think that a lot of this series what showcased how close these two teams are, and the fact that it went to 3 games is really massive for both of them. There's playoff, on the line for these guys. That's a middle of the pack game, and it went 3, which is important because commercial has a wild card. So top 4 from every commercial league goes into playoffs, as well as a singular team.
Well, hold on. Is it a 16? How many teams make it to playoffs? Because it's only 3 groups. It's not the 4 groups that we're used to in commercial.
Shit.
So I believe they talked
It's
about
top
it in
5,
the...
1/6.
It's top 5. So
Yeah.
every game matters.
Mm-hmm. We normally do interviews. Unfortunately, tonight we've got to end the stream a little bit early. We've been live for 3 hours now, so we are going to save our Daniel Jones interview for another evening. He's going to hop on, walk us through drafts, how he does them, how he picks the players he wants, and we will see you guys all then. But before we sign off, Zodiac has one thing he's been really wanting to say, and that is...
Remember, kids at home, kids in your basements, kids maybe in your attics, your second floor, your third floors. Remember, do your drugs,
Wait,
Skip your vegetables.
wait.
and go to school.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Do